Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What is going on, everyone? It's Jaron from Jeranism back with another live video for you tonight, today, whatever it might be for you. We've got why the government can't control crypto. We're going to be going through just a few things, shouldn't be too long, and tell you about the new venue where we're at doing consultations, where we're going to be doing classes and how that all works together. I'm not alone. I've got my partner in crypto crime, I guess you can call it. Scott is here with me from Australia. Scott, how you doing?
Good. How you going?
Fantastic. Couldn't be any better. So let's get started. We'll make this kind of short because I know Scott's got something he's got to do. So what we're going to do is kind of start out with, what's going on over at the site, what we did, why we moved, and I will bring up some screen share stuff if you want. Where do you want to start at our new website?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Let me transfer this over there and see if we can get it. All right. There we go. Hope everybody is doing well. And we'll be on YouTube the whole time today, trying to see if we can get some people to join us over here. So we're going to start out. I'm going to show you the left side. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So our new site, go ahead and talk about it. I'll bring it up.
Sure. We pretty much moved everything to a new site where it's a bit more not centralized, condensed. It's separate from the old site. It's just all about crypto stuff. Lots more information on the site with what we provide, what we offer. Bit of background info on the people who do the consultants. So obviously we've got me and Jaren. We also have Nathan from Lift the Veil and Caprice as well. So there's 4 people to choose from, depending on who you want to sit down with, who you want to talk to, what times are available. Obviously, we're in different time zones, so we actually cover almost 24 hours because of the time zone split, which is really cool.
And then each one of us has like a specialty, or not, but if kind of each one of us has our strengths, our weaknesses, more of the high level stuff like DeFi and stuff like that. Nathan's good at that. You're good at that. Hex and Pulse, I would probably go to you. Pirate and security stuff, privacy stuff, then I would go to Caprice or myself. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all cover different stuff. The space is so big, it's so hard to cover everything. So we've got 4 people. So, as you're saying, Nathan's really into, the gaming metaverse, that kind of stuff. So if you're into games at all, you can go with him, or he does some of the, lesser well-known blockchains. There's just so much to cover. It's really hard to be across everything. So we have a good option for everyone. And even if you just want to have a chat with Nathan or Caprice or me, can always sit down and just talk over things. We do a 15-minute free consultation. So I'm the one who runs those. So if you wanted to just get more information, about what we do and wondering if it's right for you, you can sit down with me for free 15 minutes, and then we can just have a quick chat and see if you want to go ahead with it. That way you can find out, everything that we cover, what we do, what you'll get out of it, all the different stuff we provide. That's free. You can just book in 15 minutes. I'm available quite a lot. So if you're interested or you just want to find a bit more, you can go to the bookings page and, book in a time slot.
Awesome. And talk about how, if you guys, I guess we'll just go ahead and give it out here. If you go to my website, like you might have done in the past, if you notice that if you go now to the crypto page, which is going to be, if you go here to the crypto consultations page, where's my menu? It's over here now. Okay. Crypto consultations, you're going to end up at a page that basically says that we have moved, and it just tells you to go here. But it also mentions that there's a coupon code, Jaren10, that will get you 10% off. So use that if you're going to sign up, and then you can click here and go, obviously, to the site. But we wanted to mention that there is a way for you to help us, help you, if you want to make some money, if you want to help some people out. Go ahead and talk about where that's at on the site. Is it on more, right?
On bonus, I believe.
Oh, bonus. Sorry, there you go. I'm sorry. Okay, got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just a way for us to help, outreach other people, and for you guys, if you got some spare time to do some promotion, you'll be able to get like a 10% commission on anyone who you bring in. So if you're interested, you can contact us and get your own code. Maybe a group of people, maybe a part of a community who you can talk to about crypto. They can use your code, and you can get, depending on if it's an hour or 2 hour class, you can get like $13 or $22 for every class taken. So if you got, you want to bring in a little bit extra cash, if you have some communities you're a part of, or you know how to do some promoting, then it's just a way for you to pull in a little bit of side money. Helps us out obviously because we get more bookings. They're pretty Jaren experience, being shadow banned, it's hard to get stuff out there. Ads and things, they're pretty against crypto, and Jaren's been, banned off a lot of sites. So it's it's great if you want to just pull in a little bit extra cash. You don't have to do much, just shill the link around, and we'll just compensate you, the commission, so you can, have a little bit of extra income.
Yeah, very nice. And I mean, this is another reason why, people ask, why crypto? Why is it important? Well, like Scott just said, I mean, I've been kicked off of PayPal and I've been kicked off of Venmo. And so they just don't allow me to use their banking services anymore. Well, one thing that they can't stop people from using is crypto. So I also wanted to get in, I'm going to get into it a little bit more when Scott leaves, but I wanted to explain the idea behind it, because I'm getting this idea. Who was I was talking to Harmon the other night. And Harmon was talking and basically saying, Jaren, I think you're wrong. I think it is CIA. I think it came down from above. And I was, thinking about it. And then, really, when you realize what crypto is, where it came from, you'll understand it's such a simple concept that it didn't need any kind of NSA. It didn't need some crazy government conspiracy. It basically needed somebody to think about the law of big numbers. And that was it. Once somebody realized, wait a second, can we create a number? And I'll talk about it in the second half. But, can we create a number so large, so gigantic, that no two people on Earth would ever duplicate that number? And there is a number that big, and that's what they use. Because if you think about it, I'll get into it later. But anyway, there's you have to have the wallets open. You can't have them locked. They can't be controlled by a central entity. So every single wallet that there is, every single private key is available right now. You can go get it. It's not locked. You can go grab it. The problem is there's 14 quadrivigintillion of them, which is orders of magnitude beyond even the fake space numbers that they give us for sizes of galaxies and number of stars. The number of Bitcoin private keys it smashes all known numbers, and our brains can't comprehend it. But we'll go over that later, because it really does. Once you see that, then you see the beauty behind it, and then you'll recognize what I say when I say crypto's not going anywhere. So if you're somebody listening to this and you still are under the assumption that you think crypto's going away, or you don't understand it, or it's just a fad, you truly do not understand. You truly don't get that there are hundreds of thousands of companies that are all transitioning right now, teaching people, training people. This is not a flash in the pan. It's just, you cannot wake up tomorrow and crypto be gone, because even if it's hacked, they'll just double the length of the private key, and then it's back. So you'll learn about it in the second half. I really want to show you how brilliant it is, and so simple. So we don't need a government agency. We don't need NSA developing this in a lab underground. It's as simple as, is there a number that we can make that's so big that we could just randomly place things in it, and nobody could ever find those randomly placed things? So, but anyway, I think that the fact that we can get around traditional finance like this, it's fantastic. Everybody who sits down for a consultation is very nervous, and then they kind of go through it. And when I send them their first $5 in Monero or something, and they then it clicks, they're like, oh, it's like, look, I just sent you Monero. I just sent you money from me to you. We didn't use a bank. We didn't use anybody else. We didn't need anybody to trust us. We didn't need to give each other our personal information, right? So right now, if you need to go on the bank or something, you have to give them your ID and everything else. And then what happens? The bank gets hacked, and then your information's out there. It's always nonsense. All these companies that we give our information to always get hacked. So why not incorporate something into your life that can't be hacked, as far as you don't need to give your information to anybody? Go ahead, Scott. You're going to say something?
Yeah. A lot of people do say, it's controlled, it's this, it's that, which is true in a sense. There are going to be controlled cryptocurrencies, and there are ones that have been infiltrated by, the World Economic Forum and a bunch of these other ones. But you can't lump everything into the same kind of pool. You can, if you know how to do it, you can create your own blockchain. It's not like it's an object. It's a theory. It's a technology.
Right.
So it's not like they control everything. You can create it. It's just a concept, as what you'll go into with the private keys. All it is an online database, an online ledger that's securely that's secured and decentralized. So there's no main server, there's no server that they can switch off. A lot of people say, if they turn off the internet, then crypto goes down. It's like, yeah, but so does your money in the bank. I don't know why people are so attached to fiat when fiat is just absolutely
Me
terrible.
neither. I tried telling people, like, I don't care if you argue against crypto, but please don't make it sound like you're arguing for the number one tool of enslavement that's been used.
Have another. What's your alternative? What? I don't see, like, people are so apprehensive. Oh, it's going to enslave us. It's like, are you not enslaved now by fiat?
Right.
They've just pumped over $20 trillion in the last couple of years.
Just think about your arguments. When I get that all the time. When people are like, "You're going to usher in the Great Reset, the Great Reset," and I'm like, "Well, no, we're not ushering that in. That's coming whether we like it or not. And if we all say no to crypto, it doesn't mean it's not going to come. It's just not the way it works."
Yeah. So we've talked about it before. You either just sit with your fiat currency and go into the government coins, which you will have zero control over, or you attempt to find something decentralized and take Monero, for example, that's private. No one knows what's in your wallet, no one can see transactions. That's completely different to Bitcoin. And if you can't simply state the difference between, say, Bitcoin and Monero, then you haven't done the research into it at all, and you're just lumping everything into this one group and calling it bad. So if you want to stay with your fiat and let your money get worthless every single year, and it's going to be increasingly worthless because of the amount of fiat they've printed, then that's fine. You can stay in that system and go with the government coins. But I think we have a shot at finding something that is really decentralized, really free, something that isn't controlled. It may be 0.1% of what's out there, but it's worth the shot of, rather than just sitting around and doing nothing.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people in this community that are defeatists. They already feel like we've lost to the NWO and that there's just no chance of coming back, no chance of doing anything. I see somebody here says Bitcoin is created on SH32 hash. It's actually SHA-256 hash that originated with the NSA. Yes, that's true. But that's not, since the government's created and released them as a training program. SHA-256 is used for tons of things. So the fact that Bitcoin uses it, it's not what made Bitcoin. The law of big numbers made Bitcoin. SHA-256, I believe, has been around for quite a while. I can find out exactly how long. But again, a lot of the arguments, I'm just not seeing anything that ever rings home. It's just people who just don't want to learn things. And here's the thing. It may seem overwhelming. You're like, I'm too late. We're in like the top of the second inning. Okay, what I mean by that is they say 10% of the U.S. and 7% of the world own crypto. So if only 10% of the United States own it, by owning it as soon as you can, you are basically in the top of the second inning. You are very early still. Let me see here. SHA-256.
And ways to get into it anonymously is getting harder as well.
Yes, that's
true. So if you wait too long, then you're gonna have to go through the whole ID route. So there's still options to get through that without the ID, matching your exchanges to your ID. And another thing, people think, all the stories came out about how they seized Bitcoin, in Russia and all these things, when they don't really understand that no one's wallets got emptied. No one's wallet was prevented from sending. It's all exchanges, which we don't advocate for. Centralized exchanges are not what crypto is made for. So we completely, you have to use them in such, well, you don't have to, but they are easy to use to change your fiat into crypto. It's not the only way that it can be done. Mm-hmm. But we never advocate for keeping it on the exchange, because that's where it's, there's a third party risk, there's counterparty risk there. So when we do our consultations, we try and keep it completely, your own custody. It's in your own wallet. No one's got, access to it. We never advocate to keep it on exchanges, because that's where, the big companies can come in and mess around with it.
Yep. And it looks like SHA-256 has been around since 2000, and it's used right now, it says, in 1,300 validated implementations. It's needed for this particular part of crypto, but it's not, I don't think you necessarily can say, oh, well, they developed this, so they developed crypto. No, this is just the hashing function so that you can't go backwards. It would be detrimental if you could go from the address to the private key, because we can see all the addresses. So we know we can go find wallets right now that have billions of dollars in them. If we could go backwards and take that address and come out with a private key, we'd be able to steal all that money. So it just is a hashing function that goes the other direction, only from private key to public key, which then gives you your address. So, and how do we earn crypto mining only? No, I mean, again, I used to earn it writing articles for a website. So it is possible. And I do agree. Somebody says here the bartering system. I agree. I don't think things will ever get that bad, but if they do, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of having gold and silver. I just think if, let's say I've got a bunch of cases of water here and I've got food and I've got bullets and I've got cigarettes and somebody comes to me and they want to buy some of it, I'm going to want usable things, not gold or silver.
Yeah, if things get that bad, then we've got way other.
we got
so many
problems.
other. Yeah, we got so many other discussions to take place. Like,
Yeah.
if it gets that bad, then doesn't matter what money you have where, it's useless at that point. So
I agree with Rune Dragon. He says Bitcoin you can't get 100 times return. It's too late for that. But Pulse Chain and PulseX to the moon, baby, 10,000x, totally possible within 2 to 3 years. Yeah, again, all you have to do is go look at like products, right? So look at Ethereum. If we were talking in 2015, all of 2015, Ethereum was less than $1. Today, 3,300. That's 3,300x. Okay, so if you put in 1,000 today, you have 3.3 million. So is it worth the gamble? To me, I don't understand how anybody could say no. Meaning, if you had $1,000 sitting in a shoebox somewhere and you were able to buy Pulse Chain with it when it comes out, you take a shot. Could it end up fizzling out and never does anything? Sure, could. But guess what? That $1,000 wasn't going to do you anything anyway. Whereas in 5 years, you could look back and be wealthy, have $1 million because you made that decision. And that's really what you have to do, right? You can't wait for these things to be well established. Bitcoin, you put $1,000 in it today, you'll never get rich. Hate to tell you, you'll never ever get rich because Bitcoin's not going to multiply over a bunch of times like other coins will. So it's good for hedging inflation. I think we all know what's going on with the dollar. I mean, this has been obvious for a long time. You cannot keep printing out money. What did they print? 40% of the entire supply in 2020. This is not going to end well, and it's just a matter of how long can they hold it up for, and why not hedge your bet with some crypto. And if it's scary for you, that's what we're here for, is that you really can within an hour, and you can talk to some people that have sat down with me within an hour. Well, I used to be able to until crypto.com, the app now does that 24-hour wait period. Screwed up I used to have the ability to get somebody in, signed up at crypto.com, purchased Bitcoin, send it to their own wallet that we've installed on their machine, and by the end of the hour, they had coins in their own wallet. They knew what they were doing. They knew how to send and receive. That was awesome. But now crypto.com won't let us take it off there for 24 hours. So what else do you want to talk about? Oh, wait. So we got the website. You can go there. It's cryptoclass101.com/.com.au, or you can just go to jeranism.com/crypto. Works the same way. Remember to use the coupon code if you want. And then let's talk about the classes that you're going to teach. You have one tomorrow, right?
yeah, tomorrow 6 to 8 PST.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're not signed up for Jerem's Patreon, or even if you do the yearly subscription, you can get a free class with me. So I'm going to run a beginner's class, and then once a month I'm going to run a class. It's going to be beginners, and then the month after will be like a more advanced class, and then I'll switch back to the beginner's class. So if you sign up for the Patreon, you get that for free. That's heavily discounted than just taking the 2-hour class with me straight from the site. So
it's actually,
go ahead.
Yeah, because it's $115 is the excuse me, the 2-hour class. But to sign up for actually, I can't see my screen. Are we on there? Oh yeah. To sign up for my Patreon is $10, and this is when I say this, I'm not joking. It is like the best deal in crypto, and I'll show you why in a second. But you'll see here it says save 16% if you pay annually. So if you pay annually, which is the $100 up front because you get 2 months free, then you get free either the intermediate class or the beginner's class. So the beginner's class is tomorrow. So if you were to sign up tonight, you would get the link for that class tomorrow. You could go and attend that with Scott, and you would know at the end of that 2 hours more than 90% of people in this country easily. It's that easy to kind of get going, and then you might be apprehensive about starting, but then we'll probably try and see if you want to do a consultation. Or with this $10 a month, though, you get a couple things. First off, you get a 2-hour group class that we do every other Friday night. So we're not talking about the one that he's doing tomorrow. This is our off week. We're talking about the following Friday. We'll have a group meeting where there's usually 25, 30, 35 people that are there live, and then we record it, we post it the next day, and then everybody watches it. All the patrons watch it the next day. But we go over different topics. We have guests, we have speakers. We've had the guy from Liquid Loans. We've had the guy from Hadron. We've had Uncle Vigilante was there. We had Nathan Stolman gave a speech about DeFi. We had Morpheus, who is Avocado Wolf's right hand man when it comes to crypto. So we've had we had Whales Only for 2 weeks in a row. So we've had a lot of people come in, give us presentations, talk about their upcoming coin. Epic Cash was presented by Max Freeman. So that's a good deal right there. If it was $10 a month and you got the class every other week, you're paying $5 to go to this class where and you can bring up anything. The point of the class is if you're having any trouble throughout the week, can't figure this out, write it on a note, come to the class and ask us. We're all there. Scott's there, I'm there, Caprice is there. So you get that. You get right here, no need to attend class live. You'll get the video the next day. So if you go to, what is it called? Vimeo.com/showcase. I always forget this web. Just to show you, there it is, Cryptoism. Hopefully, I have the password already in there. Yeah, you won't be able to get there because it's going to ask you for a password, but the patrons have it. And what you have here is all these classes are in order. If you go all the way back to the beginning, you get all these classes. So there's the Friday Night Crypto Lives. There's a Saturday group class, pirate class, and you can go all the way back to page 4. So you get all this for free. This is all the past classes that we've already given. So, if it's me and I'm starting crypto, you could, for $10 a month, get this, and then you could just start watching the oldest videos, working your way back. You'd get the class for free if you did the yearly. There's really not anything better. So that's that. Now let me go back here. So we got that. Then you got, all right, put that video on demand for future and past classes. You also get 24/7 private Telegram support group. I was going to show people that. Go ahead, Scott, if you want to talk a little bit while I bring that up real quick, just so I can show people what we're talking about.
Yeah, the Telegram's great because it's a great place to come if you have short questions that you don't need to sit down for a whole hour for. If you don't want to pay a whole hour, maybe you're doing a purchase or a transfer and you just want to double check that you're doing the right thing, or maybe you're using a new exchange, or you're just doing something kind of you're not familiar with. You can come in and ask a quick question. Everyone in there is super knowledgeable about the ecosystem, and you can get a nice quick answer. Maybe you sent something, it hasn't shown up, and you're wondering where it is. You can just come in here and go, hey guys, I've done this. What am I doing wrong? Where do I need to go to check things? We also just talk about upcoming projects, new stuff, updates, all those sorts of things. So it's great. You don't have to keep paying an hour every single time. Once you kind of establish, you have your own wallet and you're kind of familiar, moving forwards from there, you can just check in every so often and ask questions or hang out. Sometimes we start voice chats. We did one the other week and we were in there for I went away and I went to the gym and did a few things and I came back and everyone was still talking. So it was 4 hours long and they were just talking about, upcoming stuff, stuff that we're interested in and kind of new projects. So yeah, that for $10 a month plus the fortnightly classes is great. And if you do think, this is a bad thing or it's the B system, it's all that nonsense, come to one of the classes and talk to us about it. We'll have an in-depth session. You kind of can't really do it here, but we'll have a back and forth and we'll go over your concerns and have a good chat about it. Everyone's in there. It would be good to have someone from the other side who is opposing our views to come in and challenge them, and we can all sit down and have a discussion about it.
Let me make this a little bigger so you can see it here, but this is basically the chat itself. So you'll see that people just come in. It's any time of day you're going to find people having conversations about crypto. You could just be a fly on the wall and learn quite a lot. Links to different videos, and people maybe say, have you heard of this coin? What do you think of this? Have you checked into this? And it just is great. And then before you make any mistake, before you make any move that you think is not safe, you just pop in here and you ask the group, hey, does this make sense? Because I always tell people, if you're doing something in a hurry with crypto, you're making a mistake. It's just not something that you should ever have to do. There should never be a rush to do anything crypto-wise. It kind of means somebody's either trying to pull one over on you or you're just making a decision you really don't need to make in such haste. But this kind of reminds you to go ask the group, pop in and say, hey, and there's people here answering questions all day and all night, especially because Scott and I have alternate schedules. But it talks to you about the sacrifices that we did, and I think that we all got in early on Pulse and Pulse X, because I don't want to say because of the group, because I get it that if there was no such thing as my group, I think we still would have found it. But I think it was nice to have people to bounce things off of, nice to have people to get ideas from. What do you think is a good amount to sacrifice? Because what's happening is the Ether chain is going to fork soon into Pulse Chain, and we're all there from the very beginning. Meaning we have the coins before it is anything, before it's even out, and that sometimes pays off. Look at again Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum. These things that they're not made yet. They're not working, and people they were working, but I mean they're not like big yet. They're not household names. And if you got in there early, that's when you can make some money. And again, for people who say, "Oh, it is the NSA who created it and it's the CIA," just know that if I just would have kept my 50 Bitcoin, I'd be retired today. I really don't think that's what the CIA has in mind, is to let me retire. So
It's like the internet when it first started. Like people think, oh, they created it. Even if they did create it, the technology itself, maybe not the specific blockchain. If they did create it, then it must be bad. But they created the internet, and does that mean everything on the internet you can't use it because it's bad?
right.
No, it's the same concept. Blockchain is a specific technology. It's not like, yeah, as I said, there are specific blockchains that maybe you should avoid, but the actual technology itself shouldn't be avoided as a whole. The same way there are specific things on the internet that you shouldn't do. But it's an open system. There are certain rules and regulations you have to follow, but like what else are you going to do?
Yeah,
This is like our kind of last hope at least trying some alternative method, unless you have a better idea, a new currency. There's not many
Right.
other options out there.
No, there's not. And I just I wish people would recognize that and at least call it for what it is, which is an awesome technology. And there is the right way to use it in the wrong way. But the problem is that people fall for FUD too often. They think the government's coming to get them. And if you start to understand crypto, you'll start to understand why it's so different than legacy systems. This is why they want you on Venmo and Cash App and debit cards and credit cards, because every single thing that you do is tracked, right? No matter what you do, they know exactly who did it. Well, with crypto, you kind of have the same thing. You've got open ledgers where you can see that it goes from address to address. The problem is you don't know who owns those addresses. And so, I still think there's a plausible deniability kind of situation here that they don't want to let. This is not the kind of thing you're going to hear on the TV. It's not the kind of thing you're going to read in an article. They don't want to let you know that there is a plausible deniability factor that is going to really cause them some issues. For instance, let's say I'm at Coinbase, and I always, I know Scott does the same thing. We do show people how to buy from those exchanges, but we tell them to immediately take their coins off. You never want to leave your coins on an exchange. And when you pull those off, a lot of people just assume, well, they must know it's going to my wallet. Well, you know that, but nobody else knows that. Meaning Coinbase doesn't know that just because you withdrew it from Coinbase, that you would, for all they know, you owed me money and you gave them my address and they sent it to me. So the fact that they don't know that should tell you that you have that plausible deniability, whereas they don't know. So this is why I know the IRS isn't going to show up at your door and say, hey, you withdrew $50,000 in crypto and you never paid taxes on it. Why? Well, number one, you could say, I didn't withdraw that to myself. I owed somebody some money. How can they prove you didn't? Number two, once you say that oh, we pulled it off. Well, do you know when you pay taxes in this country? At least in the United States, you pay taxes when you make capital gains, which means you sell the item. Okay, so if you pull crypto, let's say you have a Bitcoin you bought, it's worth $45,000. It's sitting at Coinbase. You pull that to your own wallet. You still have a coin worth $45,000. So you don't own any. You don't owe any money. Especially if that coin goes up to $1 million the next day, you don't owe any money. You don't owe anybody any capital gains taxes because you have not sold it. So this is why I don't see the government coming by and asking you questions. They don't have time to be going to people's house and be like, "Where's that $50,000 that you withdrew?" And then you say, "I didn't sell it yet," and they're like, "Shit." It'd be like people showing up at your house and asking for taxes for your house that's sold, and you'd be like, "I haven't sold it yet. I live here." That we don't have that happening because that'd be dumb. So it's the same kind of thing with crypto.
Yeah, and wallets aren't tied to your identity, so
right.
they're
Except for
not
the
linked.
ones at the exchanges, which are not your wallets
Correct,
anyway.
Yeah, correct.
So
Yeah, someone just asked
go ahead,
in the chat on a guide on farming, liquidity farming and stuff for PulseX, if they take the class. So that can easily be covered in the fortnightly class, so next week. So if you do sign up for either the monthly subscription or the yearly one, we have the group class next weekend, next Friday. And we can easily cover that. I've made a video on it, but I can cover it again. So yeah, if you're looking to get into that, then sign up for the Patreon.
Curious Life, I know what you mean. It says plausible deniability. Good luck with that one. It is their worst enemy. What do you mean?
You can just say, "Oh, I didn't remove that. Someone else. I got hacked."
What about I lost my private key or my seed words? There's so many.
Yeah.
This is what you don't understand about crypto that people can't get through their head. This is a groundbreaking technology that can be used against the very people that have enslaved us. It's the people who can't see that, who want to keep denying it. If we all just turned tomorrow and said, let's all use crypto from now on, we just pay each other in crypto, pay workers in crypto, pay the grocery store in crypto, we would be done with the government. It's that simple, and yet people want to just ignore it. But yeah, actual plausible deniability and the logistical nightmare that is people think it's easy to track crypto because like, oh, it's all in the ledger. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to try and follow numbers going to other numbers, and then they're breaking coins into different spots. You can do anything you want. I could make 1 million wallets over the next couple days if I just sat here and just made wallets. They're all free. You can just make 1 million wallets, and then you could put money in each one of them. And if you think that somebody from above would be able to go, yep, those are all owned by Jaren, how do they know? It's plausible deniability. Actually, I sent that to Henry. Actually, I paid my friend Joe. What are they going to do? Now go ask Joe? This is what you don't get about. They cannot do that. This is why they'll come out with their own coin, and they're going to try and get as many people on it as they can. And if there's 10 or 15% still using these other cryptos, they're going to be happy with that. That's my opinion. That they know that they can't, and it's free speech. So they can't ban it. They can't make it illegal. If they do, people should have an uproar about it because it's nothing more than code on paper. How can you not have code on paper? How is that not allowed? That's all it is. Go ahead. You have something more? I know you're just getting close to 7.
I did have something on my mind, but it's just slipped. Oh yeah. So if you own like a small business or you're self-employed, we can show you how to accept crypto as additional payments. So I did a consult with someone who owns a skincare company, and yeah, they want another way to accept payments in crypto, which is great because the fees are a lot cheaper. So Visa and PayPal, the fees are pretty extra. They're so high. So having another option broadens your availability of income, because there are more people. A lot of people do want to try and use crypto as much as possible. Either they have money in it, or they want to try and, as you said, make it more available. And I can't think of the word, but yeah, make it more usable. So that's an option. If you have a little business, it's very simple to set up. You can get it done pretty much in an hour, and that can help you cuts down on fees, more income for you, and then that way you can. There are some programs where when they can pay via fiat currency, and then it can get converted into crypto and send you the crypto rather than the fiat currency, and then you can keep a portion as an investment and keep the other money as your day-to-day spending. So that there's an option as well.
Maybe a good thing would be for me just to go through questions. It seems like a lot of people have questions that are very easy to answer. So this person says, can't they associate your wallet address with IP address? So imagine this now. So I'm pulling money off of Coinbase today, but I owe Scott $1,000. Okay, so I say, Scott, what's your address? He gives me his address. I go to Coinbase and I do a withdrawal to that address. So do you see the plausible deniability there? How do they know whose address it is? Is it mine? I entered it, but it's not my address, it's Scott's. So if they come to me and say, where's that $1,000 you didn't pay taxes on it? And I say, oh, actually, I paid Scott. What do you think they're going to do? Now they're going to travel to Australia to ask him? It's ridiculous that people don't understand. And we are such small fish. There's millions of transactions going on as we speak. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. If you go to blockchain.com, which is the blockchain, let me bring this up. I'll just show you. We can look at what's going on this second. If
you haven't looked into privacy coins such as Monero, Epic Cash, Pirate Chain, and work how their inner workings actually work, that's another step beyond that most people haven't even bothered to kind of look into and how it works. And it does take time to sit in. It's the same thing coming into Flutter. People coming in, oh, that's ridiculous, that can't work, and then they just shrug it off. And as soon as you just look into the details, then you'll be able to see where you're wrong. And this is kind of the same thing. People think it's not possible that we can have something that isn't government controlled,
right?
Which I think is a very, as you said, defeatist attitude. It's like, well, then why bother with anything,
right?
You may as well at least try.
We have to be able to look at things when they do come up and say, oh, okay, I see the problems with this, or when it's something this easy, which I'll show in a second. Real quick, just so you guys can see, this is the live Explorer. So you can see the time here is 1849, which is right now 6:49 on my clock. These are the transactions that are going on live. Okay, so this is counting down, and you can see if we just stay here and watch, there's $303,000. Okay, $65,000. If you just watch this you'll see millions of dollars being transacted. and yet people are all very worried about their $400 purchase, $78,000, that their $400 purchase is being tracked by the government or something. I just don't think it's as big of a deal as you think, as long as you're not doing anything that's illegal. And that's why I don't have a problem doing it. I don't have a problem with everything I'm doing. 88,000 bucks is because I'm not doing anything illegal. Now, if you're doing illegal things, buying drugs on the dark web, or you're sex trafficking, 248,000, 701,000. These are transactions happening right now. So if the government's doing anything, you think they're looking at those transactions. But again, once you find one, what did I just see? 1 million? There's 1.3 million. Where'd it go? Get it. Okay. Oh, shit, I missed it. Yeah, I missed it. I'm not gonna be able to get it. 1.3 million. Where are you?
Someone just just replying to a comment in the chat. It goes, "What if they crash the internet to crash crypto?" It's like, well, then your fiat's gone as well. So
right, and it doesn't actually crash your crypto. You would still have it available.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, because if they crash the internet and you've got 100 grand in the bank and they turn it back on and they go, "Oops," because you're not holding it. They're holding it. But if it's in your wallet and then the servers come online, the ledger's still there. It's not like the ledger disappears. So then there's a way higher chance of your crypto being there if that is to happen.
But I think it's pretty far-fetched.
I don't really fall for that crash to the internet thing. If it does, it's not going to take long. There was some town somewhere where they crashed the internet for like a couple of weeks, and everyone just like went super based and just turned back to like before we were the internet very quickly. It doesn't take long. Like they have to keep up with their propaganda. They have to keep
They have to
keep pushing,
people,
and the internet is the internet's their main driving factor for it. That's where they control us with is pretty much with the internet. So if they lose their main propaganda machine for too long, then it loses its effect. Evil never sleeps. It has to keep pushing every single day. That's why we get bombarded all the time. If they took a break for a long time, people would slowly readjust and go back to old methods of doing things. People are just in a trance from the internet, and they can't stop the spell. They have to keep it going. So I don't really see that happening. They may shut off some areas for a short amount of time, but like a global outage is just kind of ridiculous.
So I just clicked on this one, barely got it, a $1.3 million transaction that just happened. But let me show you where people think it's so easy. Oh, it's all trackable. Yeah, well, we don't know who sent this. Number one, we have an address. We can try and put this address, if we wanted to, into a search engine, because it had 25 coins and now it has none. You can see here, total sent 25, final balance 0. You can start plugging things in, but think about how much you'd have to pay somebody to do all this work. Where's the address? I'll just grab it from up here. So we could take this address and put it into a search just to see, maybe somebody attached it to their name on their website or something. We'll go paste. If we don't get anything, let's see, is that the right number? And ELBAC, nope. So something like this, there is no tracking of it. So right away, there's not any mention of this address ever being used on the internet. It's not in Google. So it's going to be very difficult for anybody to track anything about this. Now you can start to explore around. You can say, what happened to it? Oh, it got its money from this account. Now you go here. And you're just going to keep playing this game of whack-a-mole where, okay, well, all these wallets here all contributed to this 25 that went to it. And I've had to track crypto before through the blockchain, and it's a nightmare. And also, I knew that I was tracking it. It's not proof. Meaning the guy I went to that stole money that I eventually asked, I brought it up to him in a way that got him to admit that it was his, but he could have very easily told me, that's not my wallet. And I wouldn't have had any proof. There's no proof. So plausible deniability, why it might sound like it's not a good, then you haven't looked into it. You don't realize that they cannot. It's just like if you rob a bank, but they can't find the money, they can't arrest you. It's kind of the same idea. You have to have the money. You have to have the item of the crime. If they come to your house, like, we think you robbed a bank, but we don't have the money, they can't arrest you. That's not the way it works. It's kind of the same thing. And the money doesn't really exist in reality. In reality, crypto doesn't really exist. It's not. There's no coins sitting in your wallet. They're not traveling across the internet. They're not in my phone and in your phone. They are simply a ledger, and it keeps track of which addresses control the ability to spend which amount of that particular coin. So it's much different than we've ever been had before. And this is why I think that I'm not rich today, is because I forgot about innovation. And we don't see a lot of innovation in legacy stuff because usually a company will invent something new. Well, what do? They go get a patent for it. Now they're the only people who can come out with that product. So what do? They slow it down. They get the production right. They charge a shitload of money for it, and we all pay for it in the end, right? Whereas if companies who discovered something immediately made it open source, then what happens? Then other people look at it and say, oh, I can make that better. Oh, I can get better. And then things get cheaper, things get faster, things get more efficient because everybody's building off what everybody else built. That's what crypto is. Every crypto code is open source. So if I would have realized that, because back in 2012, you had to put your private key in to send crypto. There was no such thing as seed words. Everything was protected by a password. If you lost it, you lost everything. If you sent coin to the wrong address, you lost it. There was so many things that made me go, ugh, that people are going to lose their life savings on this thing. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to do much. What I forgot is innovation. Because if I would have seen things like the Exodus wallet, Exodus wallet has like 150 coins on there now, and it's beautiful. It's a really nicely put together non-KYC. No longer do you have to really worry about putting in the wrong address. Most wallets will stop you if you were to try and send Bitcoin to a Ethereum address or vice versa or whatever. Every place is going to stop you today. That wasn't the case in 2012. So we will continue to innovate. Things will only get better. It's not going to get worse. You're not going to wake up in 2 years and be like, oh, crypto's worse. It's much harder to use. That makes no sense. All the codes are open source. Anybody can go get.
There's only one technology that goes backwards.
Good one. There is only one technology that.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, but I got to jump off for a sec.
Everybody, definitely go check him out. He's if you're looking for a consultation, I can't recommend anybody better, and he specializes. Go ahead and tell him real quick, and then head up.
Yeah. Head to the site. You can either go through Jaren's site or follow the link in the description, or from Jaren's posts. Book a 15-minute free if you want to have a chat and know what you're getting yourself into, what we can provide. And yeah, this shouldn't be something that you jump in heads first. You shouldn't just put all your wealth into crypto. It's a portion. It's just another route. You should have, guns, food, doing services that you provide yourself. It's not like we're just saying scrap everything and go into crypto. That's stupid. This should just be another avenue that you should be looking into and having all options available, because things are getting more constricted and tighter over time. So there should just be another avenue you can explore. Don't go in balls deep, because you're going to get wrecked regardless of what you go into. If you take out all your fiat and just go buy a bunch of seeds, then you can't go buy petrol. So you have to have a portion of your investment split around, and just treat it as an investment. Treat it as something that can maybe bring you a bit of wealth in the future. Right. It might not, but it's probably our best shot that we've got so far. I think staying with what the current system is without at least trying a different alternative is probably the worst way to go. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that.
All right.
And
appreciate it, Scott.
I'll talk to you. No worries. I'll talk to you later, Jaren.
Have fun. Peace.
Right.
Curious life. I'm looking at what you're writing here. You put crypto is the mainstream. I mean, that's just a ridiculous thing. It's gone mainstream because of the technology. This is what I have a hard time getting across to you guys, is you can't just assume, because let's pretend it was real. What we've seen happen is exactly what would happen. So to just how can you say it's mainstream? It's not mainstream. 10% of the country owns it. You're going to call that mainstream? That's not mainstream. Plus, when it came out, every single bank and every single entity refused to do any business with it. Whether it was PayPal, whether it was MasterCard, Visa, Citibank, they all said, absolutely not. If you use it, we'll close your account. So it was hated on from the beginning by everybody. And yet, look what it's done. Why? Because the technology is fantastic. And we're going to get to that in a second. Hopefully my thing charges here. The other thing you said is grow food, raise cattle, produce goods, exit the internet. I would love to do that. So I'm using crypto as a way of getting there, because I don't have money now to go and do those things. Those things cost money. What you're talking about is not free. I need to have a place to grow and raise cattle. Where am I going to get cattle from? Are they free? You just go grab cattle from somewhere? No. So if anybody thinks like, oh, I love crypto coins, I want to be into crypto coins the rest of my life. Hell no. I hate them. I think that they're a joke. But I recognize how to use them, and I've seen people get rich. Many people get rich from it. I missed my chance, and I'm not going to miss it this time. As far as either one thing is going to happen. Either I'm going to get 10 years from now, and I'm going to look back and be like, oops, well, that $20,000 that I put in those coins, it didn't amount to much, and oh well, what are you going to do? Because what am I going to look back and say, oh, I could have spent that $20,000 on what? A car? There's just nothing that's life-changing that I'm going to be able. But I could get 10 years from now and look back and be like, oh my God, if we would have put 20,000 into these various coins, we'd be retired today. As a YouTuber, as a content creator, I don't have a pension. I don't have a retirement. And so this is the best bet. So when people are naysayers and just say, oh, well, don't do that and do this, and that's fine. But hopefully you understand that certainly nobody's like, oh, I want to be about coins. These are the best things that there ever was. No, it's a great technology because it absolutely gets rid of the central bank. Now, is the central bank going to just go away? Of course not. Let's be smarter than that. They're going to create their own coin. Why? Because the technology works. Okay. And you can bet your bottom dollar if the technology was seen before Bitcoin and they knew it was going to work, they would have been the first ones to come out with a digital coin. Why weren't they? Because they didn't think it would ever work. So I'm going to kind of show you in a second about how it works so that you understand the technology behind it. And to say it's mainstream or it's no, you don't need the CIA to create it because it's so simple that no person ever saw it. Nobody ever thought of this one thing because you have to remember since 1970 they've been trying to come up with digital money. Now, most of our money is digital, right? Numbers on a screen type, that's where most of the money comes from. But as far as a person-to-person idea, no, that's not something they ever wanted. They don't want money to go from me to Curious. They don't want money going from me to Scott that nobody knows about, that nobody can track, that nobody has any clue. Okay. So I'm going to show you how that works because I still think people don't get it. It's the only way that you could possibly have a problem with it is if you don't quite understand it. Let me see real quick. So just to finish off there, you get the, here we go, the 24/7 Telegram group that we showed you so that you can ask a question whenever you want. You can contact me easily through Telegram as well. I can answer you in less than a day. And then the bonus that we put in there, if you sign up for a year, for $100, you receive a 2 hour free, either beginner or intermediate class. The one tomorrow is the beginner class. So that means the one at the beginning of May, which I think I have the date, it's like the first Friday in May, is the intermediate class. So if you're interested in that, now's the time to sign up. And then you get all year for free. You get all those classes, all the Friday night classes. So what would that be? 24 classes throughout the course of the year, for $100. I don't see anything else in crypto quite that cheap and fun. You're part of the group. We hang out on Friday nights, have some laughs. We're usually here for hours and hours. So the class is May 6th, Friday, May 6th, from 6 to 8. Is that right? Yes, I think so. Yeah, it looks. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a lie. It's May 13th. Friday, May 13th, because that Friday falls on the same Friday as our every other week. Does anybody know what fortnightly means? Oh, it's just funny. Scott put that on our website. I'm like, what is that? He's like, what? That means every other week. I'm like, take that off there. Put every other week. He's like, why? Because nobody knows what that means. Maybe I'm the only one. No one has ever used fortnightly with me. Anyway, that's basically it. And you can become a patron and you get all that information. You'll be able to go to the class tomorrow if you sign up for the year. And then you can start watching the back classes and get into the chats and all that stuff. So I just wanted to show that. Again, the website is a Australia site. We can't get the .com right now, but again, not a big deal for you guys. And then again, if you go here to the bonus section and then scroll down to where it says affiliate, and all you do is just email us and say, can I get coupon code DonnieJ10? Sure. We set you up. We send you the coupon code DonnieJ10. Anybody that uses that coupon code, whenever they use it for 10% off, you also get 10%. So pretty good deal for both people. If you have family or something you want to teach or have them come by, that'd be great. And then again, I say take advantage of Scott giving 15 minutes because maybe you're like, I don't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Go sit down with Scott for 15 minutes for free and tell him your predicament, your situation, and he'll set something up for you that might work for you. It's up to you. So that's basically it. Okay, now let me see if this thing's going to come on or not. Come on. Power on. Let me see if I have enough battery to draw something. It's easier for me to draw. But the best way to, come on, maybe I'll have to do like a little, here it comes. So the best way to show you would be, number one, I'm going to show you a site. I've showed this before, keys.lol. Okay. It's pretty funny. People get confused by this and you might be confused. Don't get me wrong. You're going to be confused from the start, but I just want you to kind of hold back, wait a second until I explain it to you. Let me see if I've got another screen where I can be by myself here. This one looks good. All right. Oh yeah, and as far as I told you they can't associate IP address because the person that did the transaction from their IP address doesn't mean they're the ones who received the money, right? Let's go. Okay, let me get this up here real quick. With browser. Why isn't that on? Left monitor. Huh. What's that up here? right, let's go back here. Sorry, I'm going to have to be on the double team here. All right. So this is keys.lol. I just want to show you real quick and get rid of that. Can't. So if I were to tell you, remember, let's start out with this. Everything that is protected by crypto started with Bitcoin. Okay, it was the first one. So I'm going to talk about Bitcoin right now because it was what everything else is based off of. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, you wouldn't have any of the 400 and something thousand other coins that there are now. Okay, it's because Bitcoin did something that nobody else had ever done, which is figure out the double spend problem. Because if you think about it, in a digital coin, you have digital items are easily copyable, right? What I mean by that is if you send me a text file, I can copy it and send it to somebody else who can copy it and send it. And nobody really knows where the original one was or has it degraded. Well, not really. Not a text file. It doesn't degrade. So that's their problem with internet money is if it's just a text file, which it would need to be just so it's not very heavy, the problem becomes, well, how does somebody not, if you send me $100 text file, why don't I just go and copy it a bunch of times? Now I've got multiple hundreds of dollars. So that's been the problem with digital money the entire time, why they have never been able to figure it out. Now they've figured it out as far as having a bank in charge, right? When you have a third party in charge, then the bank is the one that keeps the ledger. The bank makes sure everything stays on the up and up. Is this thing not going to work today? How many battery left? Shoot, needs a little more. So that's the the difference between what they're doing and what we're doing, or what crypto is, because crypto allows for a person-to-person exchange. Okay, and then I'll look at the chat in a second and I'll answer some questions. Maybe I'll do that while that thing charges a little bit. And then you have a basic long-digit private key. Okay, and it is needed to spend the money that sits in a wallet. And I'm going to show you where every single one of those has to be available, meaning we can't lock them up. We can't say, oh, well, you can go get it from that company. That company has all the private, because they have the private keys. If the company has a private key for your wallet, then they'll just steal it. So that's the problem. When you kind of see me working through this, how do we get it to work? Well, Satoshi, or whoever you want to call them, whether it was somebody from Cyberpunks, whether it was a couple people, this is how simple their thought was. Well, what if we made them all available? They're all open. And everybody said, how does that work? Then people would just steal the money. So they can't be open. And they said, well, wait a second. What if there's a number so big? Let's just pretend that there's a number so large that in the history of the world, no two people would ever open the same drawer at the same time. Call it a drawer because it might be easier for you to understand. So imagine that we have a wall of little drawers. We pull them out, and we'd have this huge wall of drawers. How many drawers would we need to have that in the history of the world, nobody would ever walk up and open the same drawer twice? I don't mean me opening the same drawer twice. I mean, I would never open the same drawer that somebody else in 15 years would go and open. To our minds, we can't comprehend that. We can't get it. We don't recognize that there is a number that's that big. And that number ends up being 14 quadrovigintillion, which I don't know exactly how many digits that has. Let me see. Quadrovigintillion. Something like that. It's a quantity equal to 10 to the 75, okay? Which is ridiculous. A 2 to the 56 is the amount of grains of sand on Earth, okay? Here's a quadrovigintillion. It's a 1 followed by 75 zeros. Okay. Even that, we can't really look at and be like, oh, that's a crazy long. It's way more than the stars, they say, way more than distances. It's an absurd number, okay? Now, when they got to this number, they realized that if we put all the private keys out there, meaning anybody can go grab the private key for any address right now, and it would be impossible for anybody to find it again. So that's all that this crypto thing is. It's all based off of the law of big numbers. What I mean by that is no matter where you get a wallet from, Coinbase, Ethereum, it doesn't matter. Say, let's talk about Bitcoin wallet. You have Bitcoin wallets, you have Electrum, you've got Exodus, you've got Gate, you've got, all these ones. All of the addresses, here's where they come from. Ready? The system randomly selects one of those huge numbers. Okay? Randomly selects a gigantic number of private key, and with that, SHA-256 hashes out the address, and now you have it. Now you own it. Right now, I could continue making brand new wallets. It would be a waste of my time. New wallet, new private key. New wallet, new private key. Just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. And guess what? Not one will ever be duplicated How crazy is this? Your computer, when you generate a wallet, it does not check to make sure nobody else has that private key or wallet. Why? Because the number is so big, it would be impossible for us ever to hit it twice in a row, or twice ever, which is just, it's literally insanity that that number exists. And it does. And so what happens is every single time your computer, no matter where your computer is, no matter if it's your phone, you're going into an exchange, you're at your PC, if you generate a wallet, all it's doing is it's reaching into the ether, grabbing a private key. Remember, all these don't exist. If you had 14 quadrivigintillion wallets and private keys existing somewhere, it's more storage than the entire world combined. Okay, so there's not these numbers stored everywhere. It's simply an algorithm, right? If you teach a computer, when I say enter, I want you to pick a number randomly, 1 through 14 quadrivigintillion. Okay, well, the computer doesn't need to know or have stored in a database all the numbers between 1 and 14 quadrivigintillion. The computer only needs to know that is its job. So when I come and I hit enter, it now randomly generates one of those. That's all it is. So if we were to store all those into a computer, it'd be more memory than there is in the world. So you can't do that. So what do? You have a code that pulls out of the ether, and it's one of those. And here's the thing. If you go to keys.lol, here's where you might get lost. Every single private key ever in existence is right here. What do you mean, Jaron? I can steal money? You could right here. Come here right now, and you can do what I'm about to do, and you could steal trillions of dollars, billions of dollars tonight if you want to. Are you a human? Yes, I'm a human, not a robot. And I get emails from people all the time saying, "Why are you showing people this? Why are you teaching people to steal?" I'm not. The point is, you'll never find it. You'll never find an empty address. You'll never find any money in an address. Okay. So yes, I'm human. Come on, hurry up. Let's go. All right. So this starts out at a random page. You'll notice that it shows you here the private key. This is the private key. Okay. Meaning with this number, if there's anything in that wallet, I can steal it. Now, this is the hard part, is you might be scratching your head like, what do you mean? How could they all be on the side? I thought you just said it can't possibly store all those. It doesn't. There's 14 quadrivigintillions of these. But this computer program can generate, just like a wallet can, when I call upon it to do it, it can go grab from the ether all kinds of private keys. And if we keep hitting this little dice button, it keeps coming back with a random page. And you'll notice it then goes through and checks the blockchain, and you'll see this red line. The red line means that not one of those wallets has any coin in it. Here's the thing. Spend all night tonight clicking this dice. And you'll be like, oh, all we have to do is find one. If you find a wallet with $14 billion in it, you win. You win it. You can take it home right now, plug that private key into your wallet, and you are a rich man. Here's the thing. You'll all try it, and you'll all realize how incredible crypto is when you see, wait a second, there's so many of these that not one of us, if the entire world got together and we all said, that's it, from now for the next 10 years, we're all going to hit this dice, and we're going to see when we find, you'll never find it. Why? Because that number is outrageous. Let me give you an example. Up here at the top, you'll see the page number that we're currently on as we go randomized. Okay, this is the page number, which contains 20 or 50 addresses in that page. Okay, here's where we can't fathom in our head. How long does it take me to hit the dice and look at these codes, right? Maybe 10 seconds. Yeah, by the time we hit the dice and we go through and look at all these, maybe 10 seconds. Let's say we're a computer program and we can do it in 5 seconds, whatever. Okay, so once you realize how long it takes you, so would it take very long for us to do 700 pages? Not really. Not if there's, 700 pages takes about 10 seconds per page. What's that? 700 seconds. What did I say? Wait, 700 pages. It takes 10 seconds per page. Right. Okay. So we're looking 70. So you got 70 times 10 seconds. Okay. So you can keep going from there and say, how long would it take us to do 7,002 pages? Wow, that'd take pretty long, but we could still do it. How about 70,029 pages? All right. Now you're talking a long time. To go through 70,000 of these pages, it's going to take a long time. Well, what about 700,000 pages? Now you're getting crazy. How about 7 million pages? Now it's ridiculous. What about 70 million? What about 700 million? What about 7 billion? What about 79 billion? So on and so forth, 700 and something billion. Now we're at trillion. So you can just see that the impossibility of ever getting through anywhere close to this. This is why no supercomputer has touched Bitcoin yet, because it doesn't matter how long they sit there. And I'll show you an example of that if I can ever get my little pad to work. But that's basically, in a nutshell, all that crypto is the ability to hide, because all these things are open. Again, if you don't understand what I'm saying, there is something called an address. Okay, we're going to go to the Bitcoin rich list. Bitcoin rich list. This is where your money would be kept, is on a wallet, and the wallet's just here you go. So this is the top 100 richest Bitcoin addresses. So for example, this wallet right here has 252,597 Bitcoin to the tune of $11 billion. Okay, so if SHA-256 didn't work, if it was hackable, all somebody would need to do is take this address and reverse engineer it to get the private key. Now, that's impossible. Okay, SHA-256 goes one direction only, meaning that from the private key you can get this address, but from the address you can never go backwards and get the private key. So if this address holds this money, and we have on this site where we were, keys.lol, we saw that every single private key is there. So if you can go there right now and you can find, what happened? Keys.lol. If you go here and you can find that address, guess what? You can walk away with $11 billion. But the thing is, not in a million, trillion, quadrillion years will you ever come close to finding it. Neither will a supercomputer. Now, if we go back here and we kind of look, this is the address. Now, here's all the addresses too. If you go public key, so the address for each one, you can find it, but you're never going to find one that you're looking for. Clearly, it's just not going to happen. But these are all private keys, to where if one of these had something in it, boom, right away, you could steal all that money. The problem is you'll never ever find one. This is the number that they came up with, that is so large that no two human beings will ever duplicate that, calling upon that number, that address, or that private key. So it's just really insane how big that number is and how protected it becomes. Because again, every private key and wallet address are available to us. The problem is it would take lifetime over lifetime over lifetime to ever generate those. Okay, to ever get that many, and you couldn't store them on all the possible storage in the world. It would take more than that to store all the, and it's just text file, which is crazy. It tells you how many there are. So let's get see if this thing's going to work now. So basically, that's what I wanted to kind of show you, and then I want to show you a little bit further about that number. Let's see if this works here. Let me take some questions first real quick, because you guys have them, I'm sure, and I'll see if I can answer them, and then we'll go from there. I'll just explain wallets a little bit more, because I want people to understand that the technology is not hard. Think about it. You didn't need the NSA to come up with that. You needed somebody to say, it's just that. It's called the law of big numbers. And the law of big numbers says that there's a number big enough that nobody in history will ever duplicate it. I wanted to show this. Maybe I'll have to show my old video of it, because this thing is not wanting to play nice today. It's charging very slow. Oh, maybe it'll come back. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming up now. So I wanted to show you this idea of how many possible there are, because sometimes you have to kind of break things down in a way that is easy for people to understand. Let me see if I can get this parsec to work here. And if you guys want something free to, I don't know if you need it to display. It's the only thing I use my, what is this thing called? Surface Scale. I use it to draw on here. Come on, don't give me a hard time. What are we doing? This one. See if we can get it up quickly, and I'll show you. Yes, we got them both. Come on, come up here. Why is this thing not waking up? Come on. I don't understand this thing sometimes. What if I restart it? And parsec. And then I'll look at the chat, and I just wanted you guys to see this part, though, because it's when I finally, there it is. When I finally saw this, it's when I became, and I was the head of safety and security for 2 websites, and I didn't know this much about it. It's so funny to me that they were obviously just hiring anybody back then, right? Let's see if we get rid of this. And we're going to go here and here. Let's see, is that thing coming up? Oh, good. So I'm going to put this up so you guys can see my screen. We'll go here and display capture. Oh, I just put it there. Now we'll put a different one. Sorry, we're just going to make this a little bit easier for you to see. And we're ready to go. Okay, good. And so, and then I'll look at the chat after. Sorry, I know I just said I would, but I wanted to show you this. I just have to square it up. All right, so I'm going to show you the impossibility of getting to that number of 14 quadrivigintillion, or what it would take to generate that number. And let's see, I guess I can go like this. I don't really like it behind me like that. All right, that should be good enough. All right, let's see if that works. And let me get rid of Scott's stuff here so he's not in the way. Okay, good. And this one. Nope. Left guess. Gone. All right, here we go. That's at least better. So this is the number of possible addresses is 2 to the 256. Okay. Now, or possible private keys. That number doesn't seem very crazy to us, I'm sure, but it is. And again, remember that 2 to the 56 is the number of grains of sand on Earth. That includes at the ocean bottom. That includes the beaches. So that's only 2 to the 56. So that should tell us something. 2 to the 56 is the number of sand grains, and yet the number of private keys is 2 to the 256. This number is so big, it's very difficult to comprehend. So let's break it down. We could also say it's 2 to the 32. Okay? Because 2 to the 32, I want to make sure my math is right here. 2 to the 32nd power should be 4 billion. Is that correct? Let me go over here and do it because I don't know if my calculator did it. 2 to the, where's a little up caret? 32, I believe is, yeah, 4. So 2 to the 32 is 4 billion. Okay, good. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Oh, I didn't know that was going to be on screen. So move out of the way. Okay, I'll get this back over here. All right. What? Why is this in the way? I'll move this back front. There we go. So let's break that down to 2 to the 32, which is 4 billion, we said, right? Now, another way of looking at that is it would be 4 billion times 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 4 billion. What is it, 7 or 8? 32, 256 divided by 32. Come on, where's my math? I'm terrible. 256 divided by 32. No. 256 divided by 32. I don't know if it's 6 or 7. I mean 7 or 8. 8. Okay. So it's 4 billion times 4 billion times 4 billion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So this might be easier for me to explain it to you. Let me get this thing off of here. Move this way. I want paint with touch. No. And we want to get rid of you. Thank you. Wait. Get out of there. Weird. Okay, we'll move it over here. All right, so we've got these 4 billions here, and we're going to figure out how many, again, private keys is there. So let's do it this way. The first 4 billion, let's pretend that we have a graphics card, or or it could be a CPU, whatever, that does 4 billion hashes per second. Okay? That's a lot. The computer you have is probably far less than that. Far less. That would be like one of the very best computers that we have, or one of the very best GPUs. Okay? So let's say to start out, we have 4 billion hashes per second done on a GPU. Now we're done with our first 4 billion. Let's go to the second one. On the second one, we have 4 billion of these GPUs doing 4 billion hashes per second. Okay? So now remember, we have one GPU doing 4 billion hashes per second, but now we've got 4 billion GPUs doing 4 billion hashes per second. We're going to keep going because you're going to realize how impossible this would be to ever find one of these private keys. Now we've got the next 4 billion. Let's say that there is such a thing as what we're going to call a Googleplex. What is a Googleplex, Jaron? It is a boxed system that contains 4 billion computers, 4 billion computers that all have 4 billion GPUs, all doing 4 billion hashes per second. Okay. So now we've got a Googleplex here. We've got 4 billion Googleplexes. Okay. We can keep going. The next one. Let's say that you've got 4 billion people on Earth. So let's say half the people on Earth. You've got 4 billion people on Earth. Each person owns a Googleplex. What is a Googleplex? It consists of 4 billion of these GPUs, each doing 4 billion hashes per second. Let's continue. You've got 4 billion people on Earth. You have 4 billion Earths. You now have 4 billion Earths with each 4 billion people, each with 4 billion GPUs, each with 4 billion Googleplexes, each with 4 billion GPUs, each doing 4 billion hashes per second. We're not even close to being done. We've got more billions. Let's say you've got 4 billion galaxies, and in each galaxy exists 4 billion Earths. In each Earth, there exists 4 billion people. On each people, there exists 4 billion Googleplexes. On each Googleplex, there's 4 billion GPUs. On each GPU, it's doing 4 billion hashes per second. Still not done. We still have more. Now, at this point, you kind of run out of, you can take the 4 billion and you can turn that into time frames. And I believe that they did it by how long is, you can do it by 4 billion years. Okay. So now you have 4 billion years of 4 billion galaxies, of 4 billion Earths, of 4 billion people, of 4 billion Google, so, and you're still not done. And then you can say, even then, even if we had this all operating, you still have a 1 in 4 billion chance of ever generating the public key. So once you realize how big that number is and how impossible it would be to create it, we can't just think that, oh, I'm going to go to that website, I'm going to hit that dice, and all of a sudden one of the addresses is going to come up. No. Why do I know that? Because even if we had a computer doing 4 billion hashes per second, and we had 4 billion of those GPUs, and we had a Googleplex which consisted of 4 billion of those computers, each containing 4 billion GPUs, and we had 4 billion people on Earth, and 4 billion Earths, and 4 billion galaxies. You imagine it's the equivalent of this. If you had a grain of sand, if I told you go find a specific grain of sand on Earth, that alone, you'd be like, what do you mean? Well, there's only one grain of sand out there that I want you to bring back to me. You'd be like, yeah, right. I'm not even going to try that. You wouldn't go sit at the beach and start fingering through grains of sand. That's what you're doing when you go to that website. Beyond that, it's way worse than that. You have a better chance of finding the correct grain of sand. In fact, let's picture that every grain of sand on itself had that many more beaches with sand. So kind of a picture, a little sand is a little world, and it's got as much sand as we have here on it. You have the same chance of correctly guessing that one and then going to that one grain of sand and finding the next one. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So that's basically the story that I wanted to tell there that helps you understand a little bit better of how crazy that number is. 14 quattro vigintillion is insane. And again, it's a brilliant idea because you don't need a bank anymore. You don't need a centralized agency, right? So let's pretend that this is a address. We're going to call it BC1, whatever, 543. All right. So let's say this is an address, and it comes from a private key. Okay, the private key, let's say, is 5KL private key. Okay, that's the private key. Again, these are much, much longer. This is just for example reasons. So when you pull this randomly out of the ether, you can then SHA-256 it to get the address. That's all that's happening. So when you've got your computer at home and you go sit down and you go to a wallet like Electrum, remember, we don't want third parties, okay, because that's what we're trying to get away from. Meaning in traditional finance right now, if you've got Bob and he wants to send Mary some money, okay, what has to happen now is you have to have a bank in between in order to facilitate this transfer of money. It has to go through the bank, whether you're using Cash App, whether you're using Venmo, whatever you're using besides just straight up cash, that's what has to happen, right? So you have to have that trusted third party. Well, the problem with that trusted third party is that trusted third party, number one, can, maybe not out for your interest. Maybe they charge money. Maybe they're expensive, like all banks are, right? And they also create a problem where they don't want me to work with them. Oh, sorry, Jaron, you can't bank with PayPal anymore. You can't bank with Venmo anymore. So they have that control over this. And we've realized, or crypto's realized, we don't need this bank anymore. Why? Because if there's a code that's being run that allows Bob to transfer directly to Mary, you don't need this bank anymore. This is what crypto brings us. It's not even difficult. So it's not a matter of, the NSA is definitely by. Can't we pretend? Let's just pretend that somebody in the cyberpunks community thought of this big number idea, didn't know if it was going to work. That's why he mined all the coins himself for the first year, is because he didn't know crypto, he didn't know Bitcoin would work. And it's worked, and it's been going since then. So once you have this idea of how we're going to transfer money between people without the need of a bank, then you have this computer. When you go generate, I'll just put a G here, generate me an address. I want an address. I want to play in crypto. Immediately, it goes to the ether. It knows that it's got from here to here, and in between there is 14 quadrillion address or private keys. Okay, it randomly grabs one. So let's say it grabs here. It brings it back. Now it's got your private key and your address. That's it. That's as easy as it is. Now this person can load that address with coins. Okay, that's as simple as it is. How do they pay for things with it? Because they have the private key. Now, anyone else in the world could spend all the money that exists in this address if they have the private key. Here's the impossibility. Yes, this computer randomly grabbed it, but no one else in the history of the world ever will. Therefore, this becomes the most secure thing that there is. It's impossible that anybody will ever guess that private key, and it's insane that any computer would try. Because again, remember we saw all those addresses with 0 in them? Well, even if a computer sat there and tried to get into addresses, it could last, let's say it figures it out in 1,000 years. Let's say it figures it out in 100 years. It'll probably be empty. So who spent all that money on a supercomputer to try and break into an account? Now, what they would probably try and do is find, Bill Gates' account and then try to attack that one. But again, we just went through, you would need 4 billion hashes per second by 4 billion computers in a 4 billion Googleplex, each owned by one of the 4 billion people on Earth, each with 4 billion Earths, each with 4 billion galaxies full of 4 billion Earths. And even then, doing it, they would need 1 in a 4 billion chance of even finding it. So that's pretty insane. So that's all that crypto is. Now, everything that you've seen, and I mean every coin that's out there, Ethereum, you name any coin, Cardano, are all based off the exact same thing. In fact, you and I could make a coin right now. Well, Jaren, what coin are we going to make? Well, it's called Jaren coin. And you're like, well, how are we going to do that? We don't know any coding or anything like that. Guess what? The codes are open source. We can go grab one. We can adjust little things that we want to do, change the parameters. But then when we generate our first wallet address and private key, it goes up into the ether. Now, Bitcoin has this many, but not every coin has, right? Every coin would adjust whatever they need based off of the size that would render the blockchain, right? So the longer the address is, the more secure. However, the heavier those text files get. But every single coin operates off the same idea. It goes into the ether, it grabs itself a private key. From the private key, it gets the public key. From the public key, it gets the address. And back in the day, we had to know where all these things are. Nowadays, you don't even need to know. Nowadays, you have your address. It sits in a wallet. Your wallet handles everything for you as far as allowing spends or not based on the private key. Once you have this, then you can come back and it generates your private key and your address. And that's it. That's all crypto is. And people are putting finances into those little buckets. Now, if somebody else's computer is running something over here and I want to send money to this guy, it's very easy. You just type in his address. Where did he get his address? From his private key. How do people have the private key? Because that's what your wallet's done. Your wallet goes and gets a random. That's the craziest thing that it even when I say it, I'm like, it's so weird to me that every single computer, and I didn't know this when I was in charge of safety and security. I did not know that computers randomly generated private keys and addresses. I thought they must be going to some database. How do we know? How do we know that I'm not going to get a wallet for my? I could go to Exodus right now and get a wallet. How do we know that wallet's not going to have trillions of dollars in it or billions of dollars in it because it accidentally grabbed one of those wallets? Well, that's very possible. The problem is it could never happen. Meaning it's logistically never going to happen. But I mean, mentally, you're like, oh, couldn't you just accidentally grab the same wallet as somebody else? Meaning, if you have a wallet right now in your closet, if you're somebody who's into crypto and you've got a ledger and it's sitting in your closet and you feel very, very safe with it, what I'm saying is true. That anybody from their computer right now could accidentally generate your private key and your address. But this is why I want you to go to that site, keys.lol. This is why you really need to grasp that our minds just can't fathom that. Our minds are not built to do that. We can't barely fathom the stupid distances they tell us are in the sky, let alone a number even ridiculously more big than that. So now I think that's basically it. I wanted to get that across. Why can't the government stop it? Because it's free speech. It's free speech. If we decide to, I don't know, I really like this, my glasses here, and I want to start selling these for $5, and then you have some, and then we just start dealing in glasses. Can the government come and stop us from dealing in that? Well, it seems to think you seem to think that they do have some control over what we sell. So, that's just the way it is. However, when it comes to free speech, they shouldn't have an infringement upon that. So the problem is that's all that these codes are. The Bitcoin code is free speech. It's words on paper. That's it. Implemented into a computer program. People place value with it because the network is incredibly profitable, or it's incredibly strong. So it gains value. And there's only 21 million of those coins forever. And we always are, all the coins are accounted for. They're always sitting in the ledger. It's a brilliant technology. And it's upsetting to see so many people who are against it for the wrong, they don't get it. And it's kind of embarrassing. I don't want to be rude, but for the people who, you can tell the ones who have not researched it, because they're the ones who make the same arguments over and over. It's just like, okay, tell me you're lazy without telling me you're lazy, right? Tell me you're lazy and don't do research, because if you actually did research it, then you couldn't come with those questions. And yet we get a lot of those questions. If you research it, look back, and you can go and see the forum is still up, where you can go and see all the conversations that happened between Satoshi and these other guys, where they hashed what they were going to do, what they were working on, how they thought it could work. People saying, I don't think it'll really work. Do you want to mine with me? I'll give you a mining. Yeah, sure, I'll try it. And, luckily Satoshi left, or wherever he went, died, because he's got 1,000 coins in various wallets. Well, actually, he's got a million coins in various wallets. Sorry, not 1,000. So let me look at the chat real quick. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be good for you to know. There's more info. I've got a couple videos where I've gone into deeper detail on what I just said. But I think once you understand that, you would get that this is not a creation by the NSA. It didn't take a mad scientist. It took somebody saying, I wonder if there's really big numbers. That's it. It was that simple. It was something they couldn't implement forever. So guess what? Call me a baby truther. I believe that humanity can do some things. And this is one I think they got right. Doesn't mean the government's not going to attack it. Doesn't mean they're not going to co-opt it. Doesn't mean they're not going to create Coinbase and Kraken. By the way, go look at Satoshi's white paper. There's no mention of exchanges. There's no mention of, when you need to get your fiat money out and when we need to go buy some with fiat money. No. Satoshi presented a peer-to-peer transaction system that doesn't require banks. And guess what? It's been done. It's done. The problem is we had these legacy finance. Coinbase came and set up shop. They keep all your information. Now everything you're doing is tracked. But ultimately, there is coins out there. Monero is one of them. XMR. Okay. Pirate Chain, ARRR, has some of the best privacy protocols that there are. Epic Cash. Okay. These are ones where you can go person to person, and the way it's done with like ring signatures or with an anon set with ARR is it blocks anybody from the outside of seeing what happened in that transaction. Now, I've had people say that can't be true. The government would never allow it. What do you mean? How could the government stop code? You're not making sense. You're not thinking things through, and it's bothersome to those of us who can think it through. If you present me with a good argument, I'm glad to have that argument. But when you say things that aren't even possible, it's like, well, what if they shut down all the internet? What do you mean? So they have to call all the ISPs? Or you're talking about like all the power goes out everywhere? Because we're going to have bigger problems than that if that takes place. Remember, these guys all communicate through the internet. That's how they do things, and phones. So it's not as simple as just going to shut it off for everybody. No, I do think they could close supply routes. They could do a lot of things like that, cause some problems. Obviously, the food would be empty really quick in the stores. So they could do stuff like that way before they would ever do a cyber attack. Even though we had Cyber Polygon, I get that. And there might be a day where we do lose internet for 2 or 3 days. But again, the safest place for your money to be in that case is in crypto. When it comes back, remember, the ledger sits on everybody's computer. Maybe not you if you've never dealt with it, but I'm saying millions of computers. So it's not like when the power goes down and Bank of America has their one server, it goes down, so they can't help you at all. They're not going to be people there with a clipboard like, oh, Mr. Campanella, you've got $400. Would you like to, pull it out? Well, yes, I would. And then guess what? I'd just go to another Bank of America and go get $400 from them and go to another one. Well, of course, that's not going to happen. They can't communicate. How would they let people take money out? They can't. So don't act like this is a shocker. What do you mean our money is dependent on the internet? Where have you been? Where have you been? Try and get money out of the ATM when the power goes out. You're going to struggle. Why? Because they don't work. So why are you arguing against crypto, but you're okay with the fiat end of it? It's baffling to me. The dollar will continue to lose value. I think it's lost 99% of its value in 100 years. That's insane. It's an enslavement mechanism. And guess what's happened to every single monetary system, fiat monetary system in the history of the world? They've all crashed and burned. Okay? Every single one of them. So if you think this one's going to be any different, you might be right simply because the people are so asleep that they don't see anything going on. They don't even think there's inflation going on now because the TV tells you 8% inflation. Oh, it's only 8%? Yeah, right. Why is my grocery bill doubled? 8%. What are you talking about? They just lie to you now. It's just so easy for the news to lie to you overtly in your face. They don't even care. I mean, at this point, it truly has become the American public doesn't know up from down, right from left. They don't know what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. It's very what's male, what's female. It's very confusing now what's going on. So let's go ahead and answer some questions and see what we got here. Let me bring up the chat though on here so we can see it. And please ask away if you've got some question for me, and I'll try to answer the ones I can. Let me scroll to where we're at. Sorry, I'm going to go to the very bottom. Fuck money anyway. Well, I mean, I wish we could do that. I mean, it's not a smart move, and I don't think you really feel that way. How are you going to eat tomorrow? It's the world we live in. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I agree with it. However, I just am not going to say that it's good. I have a son. I've got a wife. I've got things I got to do. So it doesn't seem like the best bet. It's so weird that this thing will not go away. Oh, there we go. I got it. Thank you for that, though. Let's see what else we got. Slave job. Have been flying aircraft on my own since I was 15. Nice. That's pretty nice. What kind of aircraft? Providing people with the knowledge about private transaction and digital currency, then they can understand and use digital banks currency. The future. Nothing to see here. Yeah, I mean, you guys are. I don't want to start getting angry, but what a bunch of pussies! I've never seen so many defeated people. Like, the central banks are just going to get us. I mean, the Central Reserve, they're just going to take all our money away from us. I mean, you might be right, but what kind of attitude is that? No wonder women are so shocked by the inability of men to just stand up and say, let's try and do something. Isn't it better than sitting around in chat saying, it's never going to work. It's just going to take all our money away. I'm not down for that. I think that there are ways. In fact, I could teach you ways to have wallets. They're basically Swiss bank accounts in your pocket. Where is the I wish I had that video of Barack Obama saying that. I think I do, actually. Let's see if we come up over here. It would be under no, it would be under my playlist, I think. Let's try and get that up for you real quick. So what is going on here? There we go. We have Barack Obama who said, we're getting close to that period of time where people will be able to have encryption that can't be broken, and they're going to have Swiss bank accounts in their pocket. It's here. It's upon us. How long are you going to sit around and make excuses before you get up and do something and actually use it to help your family or help yourself in the future? Again, look at every single coin that's been around and look at it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Look at it when it very first came out and look at it today. There's money to be made here. You just have to suck it up, buttercup, and, untuck, let the balls hang a little bit and just go for it. Again, nobody's telling you to put all your money there. That would be ridiculous. My battery's running low. Jackass. Let me see if I can find this playlist. I just want to see if I can find this one music playlist. Yes. And I believe, gosh, now I can't remember which video it was. It's so funny. I see it all the time. Maybe I'll remember. Is it the one with the, where's that rap one? Maybe I don't have it on here anymore. I used to have this rap. Wow, it got taken down from here. It's deleted. There used to be this rap that was the what is it called? Epic Rap Battles of History, and Epic Was it on that one? No, I can't remember if it's that one. God, I can't remember the name of the video. Never mind. There's a video of Barack Obama. It's in the middle of. Oh, I know it's on. It's on the Jeff Berwick video. Jeff Berwick BTC rap, maybe? Is it that one? I can't remember. It's not in the Hodl Gang one. Is it in this one? This is the rap I was telling you about, but I don't think this is where it's. No, they wouldn't put Barack Obama in here. Basically just. Oh, here it is. This is the Bitcoin all the way up. Let's see if it's this one. Here we go. We're going to listen to a little music. Let's see if we find it here. Yeah, I think it is this one.
Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way.
Dollar vigilante, all up in your hearsay. Dropping crypto knowledge, making the ladies go cray cray. Baby, I'm old school, and you the new jack. I've been rocking long Bitcoin since a hey long way back track 6 years ago. A friend of mine.
Here we go. Have a listen to right about here.
Possible to make an
All the way out. It's all the way out. Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way out.
The question we now have to ask is if technologically it is possible to make an impenetrable device or system where the encryption is so strong that there's no key, there's no door at all, then what mechanisms do we have available to even do simple things like tax enforcement?
Uh-oh.
Because
It's all the way out.
So
It's all the way out.
it's so funny to me because it's like this government has such a hold on us that even if something comes up from the ground that can save us, guess what? There's too many fucking lazy ass people that just naysayers. No, it's definitely everything's a hoax. Nothing could be real. Everything on the news is a hoax. Everything's a hoax. Why don't you just give up? Why don't you just give up? Because some of us aren't ready yet. And when there is something that comes up, we have to be ready for it because you can't just dismiss everything. And this is one that's so obvious, in your face obvious. Now, again, if you get involved with Coinbase or you get involved in these exchanges, well, then you're just playing into their system. You're going for the coins that have been co-opted. Even Bitcoin, technically has been co-opted. There is other coins out there. There is privacy coins that cannot be tracked. I'm telling you. And I don't know what people's apprehension is. They're like, well, I'd rather grow food in the farm. Okay, great. Then that's fine. So would I. But unfortunately, I don't have the money to do that yet. And, Bitcoin might be the only chance I have. And it's a great technology. I used to get paid in it. I used to be able to pay for things in it. Again, things have gotten a little expensive now. So let's see. What is Obama still talking about? Let's listen again.
It's all the way out. All the way out. Straight to the moon, Bitcoin all the way out.
if in fact you can't crack that at all, government can't get in, then everybody's walking around with a Swiss bank account in their pocket.
Minding my own on my BTC.
And that's essentially what's taken place. So he said, if there's ever an encryption that's so strong that there is no key. So imagine, this isn't an encryption that's so strong that there is no key. This is somebody came up with the idea like, what if we just had a ridiculous amount of possibilities? Couldn't that number be so freaking huge that nobody could ever find? There's no keys. I know we call them private keys, public keys, but none of the wallets are locked. And this is another thing. You might think, well, some people have passwords and some people have seed phrases. None of that matters. If you have the private key, you have everything you need to take every bit of money. So all the private keys and the addresses, which are in reality, the only things that matter, are all available for you at any time. And there's so many of them that you'll never find another one with money in it. And if not just you, but every single person in the world. That has been created. It's here. Everybody's utilizing it. The United States government is trying to utilize it, but their coin is going to be much different. It's going to be centralized. They're going to be able to. Why is that light so orange? What the hell's going on there? Where's the white light? Weird. Strange. It's an incredible thing, and it disappoints me that something comes up and like, well, who made it? This Satoshi guy. He doesn't even give us his real name. Who made it? Well, whoever made it probably didn't want it to be known that it was them. And who made dollars? Never heard you ask that question. Who made the dollar system? I've never heard you ask that. So why would you ask who made Bitcoin? It works. It's provably accurate and works. And it's been going for 12 years. And there's not going to be, even if a random computer found a private key tomorrow, or a supercomputer was built that was able to, all they would do is they'd take those addresses I talked about and they would just double them in length. So now you would have double the security, or even more, because it would be exponential. That's insane. So there is something here that will save humanity if people wake up to it. What it is we can now create a person-to-person transfer of digital assets that doesn't need to be seen by anybody else, doesn't need to be seen by the government, doesn't need to be seen by IRS. Now, the problem is going to be, and believe me, it's going to come, this government is going to realize eventually, they probably already do, this has the potential to ruin them. So they're not going to let any of that out. What are they going to do? They're going to pump you guys full of fear, full of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and get you guys doubting everything about it. Who made it? This and that. So we're falling for another psyop rather than just get behind something. When have we ever got behind something to then find out, oh, the government created that? We really haven't. It's like people are so afraid that even when something does come from the ground up, you don't recognize it. You'll just close your... I mean, they've done a brilliant job at confusing the hell out of you. Because when you look into crypto, you looked at the start of it, you're like, oh shit, this is legit. This is legit. The government would never create this. They would never implement it. They would have hid it for as long as possible. Maybe they knew about it, but they certainly didn't let it out, ever. Why? Because it completely eliminates the need for them. Think about if they used something like Bitcoin, an actual public ledger that was transparent, we'd be able to see where every dollar goes for the government. They don't want that. So everything that the crypto brings, they don't want. However, they can't act like that anymore. They have to act like they're embracing it, that they're welcoming it. Oh, we've got our team working on it. We're going to bring some stuff. Of course they have to. I saw it happen firsthand. 2013, if you called PayPal and said, oh, I was trying to do a Bitcoin transaction, boom, account deleted. Gone. See ya. You're not allowed to transact anything with Bitcoin, with any cryptocurrency, with PayPal. You weren't allowed to do it with MasterCard, Visa, Discover, any bank, Chase, Bank of America. If you tried to buy crypto with your bank card, they shut down your accounts. That's how they tried to get rid of it. Guess what? Didn't work. It kept going. So now what do we have? Oh, now the banks are just, give me some, come buy your Bitcoin from PayPal. And again, if you think, oh, this is all a setup and that they told PayPal not to get involved, then you've fallen for too much. You've gone full RV. Does my thing say it back there? It does say on this thing as it scrolls across, if you can read that. At one point it says, don't ever go full RV. And you don't want to go there. It's very scary when you get to the point where you're just like, everything that there is everything is fake. Every crypto is fake. Every commercial is fake. Every movie, every movie's real. Truth in the movies lies in the news. That's a moniker to live by. I mean, that's how you get through life. I really enjoyed the Superman movie. That's real. He's just flying around here. You don't get to see him very often. He flies at night. Okay. So anyway, let me get to questions, but please, if you've not researched it, just spouting off some nonsense is not asking a question. It's just going to frustrate me and others. Thank you very much, Jonathan Capella. Says great stuff. Appreciate that. Sure, it will. They can shut it down if they would right now. I mean, again, you don't understand what you're talking about. Do you realize how dumb you sound? They cannot shut down internet traffic, random internet traffic, without shutting down the whole internet. There's no separate, pathway for crypto. They're like, shut down the crypto pathway. They can't do it. What are you talking about? It's code. How can they shut that down? If they can shut down, why don't they shut down child porn? Why don't they shut down? What do you mean? They can't. They can't attack a certain type of internet traffic. It's internet traffic. So unless they're going to close everything, they cannot shut it down if they wanted to. Could they make it illegal? Yes. When they come out and say it's illegal, they're going to have riots. They're going to have people who recognize, not you guys. You guys will be all celebrating. Yeah, they banned crypto. Let's get back to the dollar. That's what this audience would be doing. But the other of us that realize that they're taking away free speech, they cannot ban free speech. How can you ban free speech? That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is nothing else but free speech. It's somebody wrote a code on paper. A bunch of us are implementing the code on our computers. And in our heads, we've placed financial value to those codes. And the government said, no, now you'll pay me money. For what? For what? Some voodoo occult witchcraft might break it. Nope. 14 Quattro Vigintillion. Good luck. Liberty. We only use decentralized DEX. Way to go. It's correct. We have power. We have options. We are not doomed. I agree. We have to have at least hope. And when something comes up, we got to look at it and say, could this be grassroots? Could it be real? Could it be legit? And if you look at crypto, there's nothing that screams anything other than, wow, it's not even a difficult thing. It's just somebody thought, What about these big numbers? Couldn't we use these? I would never take a jab. Amen to that. Bitcoin sucks. You're not understanding the words coming out of my mouth. What? Great. Yeah, okay, good. Good for you. Yeah, I don't think Bitcoin's the best one either. Who said that? Good. Don't let them force you. No slave job is worth that. Wait, is this still... Hold on. Are we... I don't know what happened if this thing's not scrolling down. Because I'm back to where I started the F money anyway. Didn't we get past that? Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I need to reset. Because I'm not seeing the chat come up. This person says, I have to say, Jaron, I appreciate all your work you do and your videos, but you're very wrong on this, and you really shouldn't have brought Richard Hart on your show. Oh, thanks for that. I shouldn't have brought him on my show. Why not? So I can't bring people on my show that I have questions for? It's weird. I would think that that would be something you would want to see. Can you explain where it came from is as important as where it's going? Can you explain why where it came from is as important as where it's going? Because if you understand where it came from, you realize the simplicity behind it. You understand it is simple. Now, again, there's very complex code that goes into the ideas of the SHA-256 and things like that. But people can track the code. You can find somebody who can code and say, can you look at this code and see, does it say in 10 years that all the crypto is going to be transferred to one address? No, they can look at that and say no. So people can actually check it. Bitcoin, you can't get 100 times return. You can't, right. Absolutely. It's true. Just reading some of these old ones because I don't know why this is not. Let me stop it and restart it. Oh, I need to put the URL in again. All right, 1 second. See if I can get those chats back. All right, now I'm going to be reading the chat. So chat in there for me. I know I keep saying that and then I don't. So I'm going to read it right now. I'm starting at the bottom. Start from the bottom now here. Come on. Take. Will it take? Will it take? And let me get a different screen up here. We'll go with this one. And there we go. Now we're back. Let's add the chat here. And we're going to scene chat. All right. Ask away. Hopefully we get some good ones and not everybody losing their minds. There we go. Move this up. Today's crypto is valued with regular money, and when they disappear and only one digital currency applies, all other cryptocurrencies will be no more than zeros and zeros on screen with no value. I mean, again, it's embarrassing. I hate to say it. It's embarrassing that people who have no idea what they're talking about spout off thinking what they're saying makes any sense. This is not how things work. What do you mean? Today's crypto is valued in regular money. You mean it's valued in fiat? Okay. So let's say Bitcoin is worth 45,000, let's just say. Okay. So far you're right. Bitcoin's worth $45,000. And when they disappear, what disappear? And when they disappear and only one digital currency applies, where did you make that up? Where's XMR? Where's R? There's 400,000 coins. So in your little story here, they just disappear. That sounds legit. And all other cryptocurrencies will be no more than ones and zeros on screen with no value. So far, dumbest comment of the afternoon. I mean, that's not even coherent. What you're saying, that you can't just put words to make yourself feel better about not getting involved in crypto. I'm telling you the truth here. How do we create a wallet? How do we cash out? You need to get a consultation. Create a wallet easily from go download Exodus, exodus.com, exodus.com. Go to the download a wallet in the upper right-hand corner. Download that wallet to your computer. It's non-KYC, doesn't know who you are. And then you can make a purchase and put the coins in there. Money sucks, I agree. Hex says Rolos. Dave Hinkle says, if you're exclusively using dollars, that is celebrating it. I agree. We already use electric money. Very true. Exactly. It's already electronic. But in order to facilitate electronic payments, we need a bank. With crypto, we don't need the bank. That's what it does. Let's see here. That's dumb as hell, Dave. You know it? What is dumb? No, if you're only using dollars, you are promoting the usage of fiat money, which has been used to enslave the world forever. I'm trying to get everything I can done in crypto. I would love for people to pay me in crypto. If you owe me money or something, pay me in crypto. Do not pay me money. I don't want anything to do with dollars. The problem is there's only 10% of us doing that. Well, it's very difficult to transact. People are always like, yeah, but Bitcoin's not accepted anywhere. Then go accept it. Then accept it for payment. And I'll accept it for payment, and she will, and he will, and the store will, and boom. Now we're using crypto, and now we don't need the government anymore. We don't need to pay them taxes. I mean, again, people are like, well, we need to pay taxes. If you have that belief, then you do. Is it worth opening a Monero wallet and start investing? Absolutely, I think so. Monero's, there's only 21 million. Again, Said this before, 21 million Bitcoin, there's 21 million in Monero, there's 150 million homes in the United States. If you own a home in the United States, you feel pretty good about yourself. I think the same thing will be true in 10 years about a Bitcoin, or by more. Got his Bitcoin at 3,000. Very good. Very nice. See what else we got here. That's funny because I understand Alfonso completely. Do you? So explain it then, Mr. Parker Anderson. Go ahead. I'm going to wait for your next text, your next chat. Please explain what he was talking about. How is any coin? If the dollar crashes, is that what you're trying to say? If the dollar crashes, the value of the coins goes up. Do you see that? Not the other way around. Okay. If the dollar crashes tomorrow and isn't worth shit, the Bitcoin is worth 1.7 million. How do you not know? How do you not realize this? Can we think things through? Can we just contemplate for a little bit? I only use gold coins and SIGs. SIGs is good. Gold coins are not good in my mind. I would, if I had gold or silver, I have a few, a little bit, but I don't think it's as, I think it's kind of a trap, if you will. Nobody's going, in an apocalypse, no one's going to take your gold coin. Number one, they don't know if it's real. Number two, they don't want to test it. Number three, they don't have a scale. Number four, I mean, it just becomes a nightmare. Grocery stores will never in the history of the world take gold, mark my word. However, every grocery store will take crypto, mark my word. That's the difference. One you can carry in your mind with 12 words. The other you need to lug around. It's a big old heaviest thing that there is, heaviest metal. Crypto kills Bitcoin in crypto kills gold in every single category possible. We don't know how much gold there is. Take a guess. I don't know. Does Fort Knox have gold or not? Makes a big difference, right? In the value of that. In Bitcoin, we know where every single coin exists. We know that there's 21 million, never more. And right now there's less, but there'll never be more. How am I stupid, LOL? I speak facts. All right, great for you. With crypto, you can convert to any other currency without the bank. Yes. Jaron, I told your Telegram group 5 times to sacrifice for PulseX when it started, and I heard crickets from 800 members, who I'll be forced to tell I told you so when it goes up to... He's talking about the regular chat group, not the crypto group. Everybody in the crypto group is invested. But he's talking about, I have a t.me/Jeranism chat. Those people, little loopy. I need NASA-style video simulation using crypto of the basic cross. All right, I'll do that. With the rocket and what happens on the moon, we can do that. Richard Johnson says, I use Bityard to buy crypto, and my wife is using Coinbase. Can you explain the difference between the two platforms? I don't think I've ever used Bityard, but they probably are no different. KYC, I'm guessing. And you know what it means is that they're keeping track of how much, again, you don't owe taxes until you cash out. Bityard is used by over 70 countries. Cryptocurrency exchange, so it's identical. They're probably KYC. They you can get multiple coins from them. They have an app, probably exactly like Coinbase. So a lot of people have that. I've got multiple accounts at multiple places. Sorry, I don't have multiple accounts at the same place. I mean multiple accounts that are all in different places. Is what I meant to say. I'll give you the word promoted. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. If you think crypto is promoted, you have not been paying attention. You've not been paying attention. It's not promoted. It's actually been talked shit about until it's been making people money. So then what would you think would happen in a real world? In a real world, you don't think Bank of America, MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, you don't think these legacy things are going to get on board? That banks are going to have to they're going to have to introduce DeFi. Why? Because DeFi is giving people returns of 10, 15, 25% on their money. Banks give you 0.1%. So guess what? Watch. In the coming years, if you think crypto goes away and banks take over, you don't understand how any of this works. That's not a possibility. You can't shut down code. But people are so confused and they think, because here's the thing, we all know how life worked before. We've never seen crypto. So unless you understand it, you're going to think it's like everything else that we've already used. I think homesteading and crypto is the best combo. Critical inception, I agree. But hey, if I made a couple $1 million or something, good night, Irene. I'm not doing any more coins. I'm going to go buy a ranch house with a pool and be able to retire out there and live the rest of my days away from the vaccine and the COVID mafia. They will probably shut down the internet, though. Go back and watch the beginning of the show, please. I'm going to start my own crypto and call it Dinero. That's a good one, Parker. I would give me in early. I'll get some. Pulse Chain is launching in April, is my feeling. I don't know. I mean, it's been a long time. How about that song by that guy? It says 9 months ago, and his song is "I'm waiting and waiting for the Pulse Chain." Funny. Pulse and PulseX will melt faces. It's going to be insane. I don't want to get too excited. I don't like to get excited. Anything that I buy will definitely tank. So it seems like it's got a lot of possibility. If it forks off Ethereum and it does any better than it in any speed wise or any fees wise, it's going to get real huge real fast, and the Pulse people get, or the Sacrifice people get 10,000 to 1 coins. So pretty incredible position to be in. Yes, they take gold over digital money. Yes, they will take gold over digital money. That's, I mean, wow, what a statement. I can find you grocery stores that take crypto right now. Go find me one that takes gold. Go find me a grocery store that takes gold. Yeah, right. The only reason that grocery stores don't take crypto right now is because there's a 10-minute block time. And who wants to wait? I can't go through my grocery line. Okay, what's the total? $2.15. All right, well, here's my crypto. I got to wait 10 minutes, and then we all stand around for 10 minutes and wait for the transaction to go through. That's why it doesn't happen. But guess what? Just like I told you earlier, crypto allows innovation. Somebody's going to innovate on it, and they're going to create a system that works where you load a card with crypto, and then it's guaranteed. I don't know what that is. If I did, I would be rich, but it's coming. So to just say they will take gold before, wow. Yeah, they're just going to put scales up at the register, and they're going to like get the little grinding stone and grind your gold on there, and then put the acid on. This looks fake, Jim. What do you think? No, that looks real. Okay, real. And it weighs this much, but he's got this much food. How much is this worth in dollars? People don't get it. People don't get it. And nobody's going to come to your house. If I've got like 8 cases of water in the garage, and one of those prep supply foods for 25 years, it probably tastes like asshole. But let's hope I never have to use it. If that's what I have, and then shit goes haywire and we have a zombie apocalypse, why would I take gold or silver for any of that? I'm not going to give you gold. I'm not going to give you my water or my food or anything for gold or silver, because what the hell am I going to do with it? No, sorry. Gold or silver are good to hedge inflation. That's what they're good for. And they're not anymore because there's something that's taken their place. If crypto wasn't here right now, gold would be 20,000 an ounce, maybe 25,000. But they've done a good job of that, right? The world doesn't even know that inflation's happening because gold basically sits at the same price. Hypothetical, tomorrow the power shuts off. Here we go again. Go fiat gold and crypto are all equally useless. What is the currency in this reality? There, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's bartering. It's what do you have that I need? Services rendered. I'll go help you move that over there. We'll build a wall for your house, and then you can give me some papayas. That's what the currency is. Scott F., because the internet is getting out of control, false flag cyber attacks. Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to say what's going to come with that, but I don't think it's as easy as we think to shut down everybody's internet. Yeah, of course they'll take crypto because that's where the NWO is merging and going to force this. Well, again, why don't you just go lay in bed and cry? I mean, why not? Why even come out to go to chats? They're just going to get us. Every time I do anything, they just come and get me. Take my money every time. What an attitude to have. And then you wonder why that stuff happens. People talk about all the time manifesting reality. What you think is what you bring into existence. And nothing but I hear but crying babies. Just, we can't do anything. They're not going to let us do that. Just take all our money. NWO is coming and taking over at the Great Reset. So do something about it. Fucking get up. Man. Imagine an old lady trying to remember her 12 words to be the next level after writing checks. I've thought about that before. That's why I don't know. I don't think cash will ever go away. A lot of people think like they're doing away with cash. Like they can't. Old people cannot do crypto. So there might be something simple where it's like a card, like a credit card, and they just use that. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I would rather have some coins that isn't that central bank currency as soon as possible. So I guess this is my life, going back and forth between Globebusters 24/7 to whoever is live at the moment and back again. Nice, Kevin. Okay, where should I invest and how? That's a tough one. I mean, I think that the best deal is the $10 a month Patreon, because you get all the classes that we've taught, and you can talk to people in the chat and say which coins would you recommend, and get a kind of a. What I wouldn't do is go to one person. It's just when the market is going good, anybody can predict coins. When the market is going bad, nobody can. The thing about investing over time, and this is why if you come to me ever for a consultation and you start talking about gambling, like, oh, I want to turn this $2,000 into $4,000, I'll be the first person to tell you that's stupid. That's not worth your time. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't get involved. It's not meant for that. It's meant for long-term. Here's the thing. If you could invest in a casino, would that be smart? Yeah, right? Because casinos all make money. We know that. So if the casino said, hey, invest here, put $3,000 in here, and come back in 5 years and see what your money did. That'd be awesome. We'd come back and we'd be handed, $37,000. Fantastic. 5 years, I made 32,000 profit or whatever it is, and I invested in this casino. Crypto is the same way. The problem is when people invest in it, they then look at the equivalent of if we invested that $3,000 into the casino and then we spent every single night watching every single hands of blackjack. Oh, another loss. You'd be going crazy. You'd see somebody win $1 million at a slot machine and be livid. We're going to lose all this money. It's already down. I want to sell. I want to get out with my 1,000. That's what happens in crypto. Guess what? The casino makes money. The coins make money. Wait, relax, calm down. If you have extra money, put it in there. If you would have put $5,000 under your mattress a year ago, it's worth $2,500 today because gas is twice as expensive, food is twice as expensive. So that's what's happening to your dollar. If you're happy with that, great. But there's not a lot of people who have put money into Bitcoin and have gone to half their value because the only people who can say that are the people who sold at half the value, which would be dumb. I don't recommend selling really ever. Maybe if you make a couple big returns. For instance, on Ethereum, I made like 25 to 1 return when I bought it for less than 150 and then like 7 of them or something, and then sold them when it was close to 4. It's like 3,600. But what's very sad there is, again, like I said, people got Ethereum at $1. That'd be 3,600 to 1. Again, put in $1,000, it turns into 3.6 million in a matter of 7 years. Pretty crazy that kind of stuff can happen. Again, can it happen today with Ethereum? Probably not. Put in $1,000 in Ethereum, you'll never have more than 10 times that. It's just not going to happen. Maybe it will happen with Ethereum, maybe 100 times at the most. But there are coins that are coming out, and you got to take a shot. That's the thing. So it is kind of a gamble in a way, but if you find the right projects, you notice that they have the right people behind them, you talk to the group and the group agrees, and then you put $1,000 here or there. I put it in and I think of it lost. My wife and I, we put money in coins and we just assume it's gone because it's better to look at it that way. And we call it delayed gratification. We don't go on any vacations. We're not taking my son to Disneyland. We don't go race go-karts. We don't watch a movie at the theater. We don't go out to eat. All these things we don't do because we're taking the money today, investing in the coins so that we hope for a future or a retirement. And if it doesn't happen, oh, well, what are we going to do? Look back and be like, oh my God, we could have gone to In-N-Out Burger. No, this is not going to matter. What's up, friends? Seems like a great tribulation around the corner. Is it coming? I don't know. If they control the internet like China, how would people get their Bitcoin? Because it's just internet traffic. Okay, so they control Facebook. They control different things like that, but they're not controlling internet traffic. It's just a person-to-person exchange over the phone or computers. They can't control that. So it can still happen. But the problem with this country and the government is they can just say Bitcoin and Monero are illegal tomorrow, and 98% of this country would be scared shitless to even touch it. So the problem with that is, though, I would hope people would recognize what free speech is, and we can't allow them to go after that. You got that one. COVID brought me to Flat Earth and then to Hex. Wow, really? COVID brought you to Flat Earth. Nice, grounded in Hex. Pulse, when will people wake up to Richard Hart and what he's creating? People are very scared. Money is not the solution to the big problems. Who'd you learn that from? Everything that they do operates off money. They take your money. They tax you from the time you're fucking born. You get a job, they tax you. Now we're going to take your pay. Oh, great, I got a tax here. And then you finally save up enough, and what do? You buy a house, and guess what? They tax you when it's your money. And then you've saved up all that money for that house, and then you have to go buy a car, and they tax you. And then you go to the store, and they tax you. And then everything is about money. So you can't just say words. Money is not the solution to the big problems. Well, it's what's being used to hold people down. So it is part of the enslavement. It's part of the tool that they use. So there is a way, again, imagine a world where we just right now stopped using their dollars. We just all agree, throw them in the trash. Here we go. Now we're going to use crypto. And we put a value to it, and we start using crypto as a trade, as a mode of exchange. We don't need the government anymore. They're going to come looking for taxes. We're going to say, you don't get any of my crypto. Sorry. Try and take it. What can they do? Sorry, I don't have the seed words. Again, they've got you so afraid of them that you're afraid to see something right in front of us that we can actually use. My real estate rents are proving me. Yeah. Now, if you have real estate, you're in good shape. Real estate's kind of like coins. It's never going to go down. Why? Because there's always going to be, well, there's never going to be more real estate, meaning we're not going to have new land pop out. It's what it is. Money is dangerous. Ego loves money. Money with wings. Probably true. Yep. The love of money is the root of all evil. I would agree with you. What do you think of buying Shiba coin? I don't really think that's a good one, but that's, again, this is why I don't like people asking me coins, because it really is up to you to do the research. For me, it's a meme coin, but I do think that once they realized it had value, the creators of it started to try and implement it to have some use value. I just haven't looked into it. I don't like the coins where there's tons. Shiba, there's like trillions of coins. That's just too many for me. I like Bitcoin. I like Monero. I like Epic Cash. I like the stuff that has in the billions or millions of coins. That makes sense to me. Oh no, you said the V word. Oh great, I'm out of here. Which privacy coin has the largest anonymity set? It's Pirate Chain. R has I think it's R. So when you say private keys, you mean seed words. Your seed words are a hashed out version of the private keys. Okay. So the seed words are easier to memorize than the ridiculously long private key. So somewhere around 2015, I think 2016, they basically figured out, okay, well, this is the hashed version of that. So every set of 12 words that you can think of in a certain order registers or hash isn't the right word. What is the word I'm looking for? Maybe it is hash. It's every single set of 12 words correlates to a private key. There you go. Because it's 12 to the 2048, right? You have 12 words, have to be in order, have to be exactly correct, and there's 2048 possible. Then your Bitcoin will essentially have the same exact value, right? Even though the literal numbers are higher. What am I missing here? Oh, I was conceding that I was promoting the dollar by using it. Oh, gotcha. And then I don't think I understood your next one, but then your Bitcoin will essentially have the same exact value. Yeah, I'll have to check out. Jaron, it's best to day trade crypto or buy and hold. Absolutely do not day trade. That's up to you. I would never do that. There are bots that are meant to implement things right in a heartbeat. You might see something, and if you try and go grab it, you might get wrecked. The bot will always beat you. I think buy and hold is what you want to do. And it's delayed gratification. I mean, I know I talk about this all the time, but Robert Kiyosaki's book where he's talking about what rich people do versus what poor people do. So if I saw a property across my street for $30,000, let's say it's a big old block of land, and I think about it and we have 30,000, I'm like, let me get it. Let's get it. All right. So we get this 30,000 block of land. I'm going to be worried about it constantly. I need that money, right? Well, after 3 years, now the value's gone up and somebody comes by and says, I'll give you 90K for it. Well, what do? Right away, I sell that shit, right? Because we as poor people see that $60,000 profit as monumental, but it's not. It doesn't even change your life. It doesn't change your life living situation. It doesn't allow you to pay for a house. It doesn't allow you to get out of the city. It literally does nothing. But we take that because we've been trained to. We've been taught to gamble. We've been taught when you go to the casino with $1,000 and you come out with 2,000 that you did well. Rich people don't think that way. A rich person puts that 30K into that property and shelves it. They don't think about that property for 30 years. And guess what? 30 years later, here comes Hilton when the city is expanded and Hilton pays $8.9 million for that property. That's how rich people get rich. Now, they have a luxury when you talk about delayed gratification of not having to delay any gratification, right? I've said before, imagine if we had $500 million. If I had $500 million today, what would I be able to do? Right away, I could put $200 million away for my son and my other son. Okay, this is for you guys when you turn a certain age. Okay, great. Now they're set for life. Now with the $300 million, I take $100 million and I say I'm going to live off that. Great. Now I've got $100 million the rest of my life. I'm set. And with the $200 million, I go and I buy $200 million worth of properties. Now guess what? Now I can sit back. My properties are going to make tons of money. My sons are happy. I don't have to delay gratification. I got $100 million. Life is good. That's the benefit that rich people have. And they sit there and laugh at us for struggling and never being able to do anything because you need money to make money. We all know that, right? The problem is we can delay gratification for the same results they get, but we actually have to delay gratification, right? So when my wife and I put money into coins, we don't have more money to where we can still have fun and still use credit cards and still have car payments and still have, DirecTV. It's not part of it. We can't do that. So we actually have to delay gratification. We actually have to say we're not going to spend any money. And our rule is, basically 2041, 2041, my son becomes 21, or life-changing money. So if there was some sort of coin that, and here's the thing, over the last year, I've been able to put some pretty good baseline things out there to where now it's not like I need this one coin to hit. It's like I just need one of 9 coins to hit. Again, has it hit yet? No. I'm still wearing free handout clothes from viewers. Let's see here. Jaron, is the best day to trade crypto? Yes, buy and hold. My real estate rents are good too. That'd be awesome. I would love to have real estate, but I don't have any money to buy it. So no crypto when the collapse happens. Okay. So it's just going to be all dollars, fiat, and then they're going to give us some money out of the bank, whatever Bank of America says. We have that. Okay. Laugh my ass off. People say bartering will be the way in a collapse since it's impossible to barter with a population of unprepared lemmings. All we can do is prepare and get ready for the thieves and looters. Have some bullets, and I've got some cartons of cigarettes if you need some. They're out in the box. I'll take your USB drive. You are stuck on the semantics of the word dollar, Mr. Anderson. It's value we are talking about. Yes, it's a tough one, the word dollar. Diversify is smart. Bottle caps, haven't you played Fallout? Okay, let's see if we got any more. What are your thoughts on NFTs? I don't like them. That's just me. Again, if you get one, like I told my dad, there was this one for MLB came out with NFT for every stadium. And there's only one, right? That's the allure about it. There's only one for every stadium. And it came with all these things. Sit front row at a game and do all these things. So I told my dad it was for sale for $12,000. And I told my dad, we got to get this one for the Giants, $12,000. Let's split it. Let's figure out a way to do it. And he's like, I'm not getting that shit. My dad. So I'm like, whatever, I can't buy it. Well, now I saw it selling the other day for like $24,000. So it's some of them could have value. Now here's the problem. You're not going to understand this, but like I just said, the person selling it for sold for $24,000. We don't know that the guy that bought it for $12,000 didn't go and sell it to himself. That's the problem with NFTs. So be very careful. It could all be a facade. You'll never know because crypto allows you to operate independently or anonymously, right? So you can never know the last person who bought that NFT if it was really a real person or the same person that bought it before trying to sell it to themselves to generate what looks like a sale price. Some guy did a test. He did it himself. He created a little picture art himself. He's put it up for sale for $20,000, then bought it himself for $20,000, then put it up for sale for $50,000, then bought it himself for $50,000, then put it up for $75,000 and it sold. Then he put it up for like $50,000 and somebody real quick bought it for $30,000. So the guy made $30,000. Why? Because it cost him nothing to do what he did. He did it to show an example that he was all those purchases. But somebody came along and said, what? It was sold for 75, 50, and 25, and it's for sale for right now for 30. I'll take it. Look what happened. You bought a $30,000 piece of shit. You're the one crying, dude. Me? Yeah, I'm crying. So I'm crying. Keep it up, Jaron. Lots of pathetic fear troll. Oh, so many. It's bad. It's just cucks everywhere. Not defeatist. It's just that you're really underestimating the devil. That's defeatist if there ever was one. If the devil didn't like us, he would just smash the earth. What kind of power do you think this devil has? I can only go around and infiltrate people into their minds, but I can change things, but not really. But I can't hurt them. But I mean, give me a break. If the devil didn't like it, why is he just killing people? Why aren't people just dropping dead? Wouldn't the devil be happy? Wouldn't he win if he just killed everybody? Oh, he's not allowed to do that. So he's given rules, but not the rules that protect us from him. Give me a break. Put your religion away. It's 2021, for God's sakes. 2022. I'm on top of things. Jaron is very awesome at Flat Earth. Jaron made his way in the real world as a store manager, and couldn't cut it. Huh? I really admire most of his stuff, but he's gone off the cliff and is vested. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. So you'd rather me go back and work for CVS, who is, their CEO makes $14 million a year, and the cashiers make $8 an hour. Pretty sad what you've come to, my friend. Pretty sad. How is it possible? And you say I don't make it. Am I here working for myself? It's weird. Left my job in 2012. It's 2022. That's 10 years that I have not had a job working for somebody, and you call that not making it. Let me see what you've been doing for the last 10 years, bro. Let me see. How is it possible Bitcoin to scale with the energy needed to do such? Just like, it can actually go down, right? People don't realize this. Originally, you could mine Bitcoin with your computer. So if it gets too expensive, then it will scale back, and less people will mine, and it will become cheaper and cheaper. So it's supply and demand. I like the way it was set up, but I get what you're saying. However, it doesn't use nearly as much electricity as people want to push on it. Digital currency is part of the NWO. Fantastic. Again, how would you even say that? So if digital currency really was ground up, then what? Then you're just making a false statement, right? Again, I don't think you have evidence to support that. I feel XRP is globally implemented. It might be. You might be right, John. It seems like it might be taken over by banks. People keep asking me if they should get it. I don't say yes ever, because I don't want to play with their bank stuff. Bitcoin is legit. It's going to save us all. Well, I didn't say Bitcoin was going to save us. If you stop being so afraid, at least you'd give us a chance. That's better than I've been seeing from people. It changes. So does the fiat dollar, but they still go by the same metric. The dollar is devaluating because they print whenever they want, right? And hand out $2,000 checks to everybody. What is $48,000 worth? What? A Bitcoin. Right now? A Bitcoin. Question: when government creeps bring in their version of crypto, it's coming, and it's the only way to buy, sell. Will crypto we have be useless? No. Now, again, here's the problem. If the businesses only accept the coin, right, that the banks put out, for example, then yes, you're going to have to work that, but you can work it with other people, right? See what I'm saying? So for instance, let's say the banks only accept the government coin. Okay, great. So now, the grocery stores only accept the government coin, but I have Monero. Okay, well, we would still have a value of that Monero, and then I would work with somebody who has the government coin that I'm able to deal with my crypto, so that I can get some government coin and go buy from them. But again, we have a lot of independent businesses. As long as they take crypto, we're fine. As long as people selling their house take crypto, we're fine. This is why when people ask me, what's your off-roading plan? And I say, I don't even think about it. Why? Because I don't have to pay taxes ever until, again, by the books, until I sell it. So I'm not going to sell it. And we're going to be, in 5 years and 10 years, I think everybody's going to accept it. So why would I worry now about coming up with a plan for something that can change in 2 days? It's just not worth it. Just sit on it and wait. I respect Monero and Pirate and Hex, but I don't own any. Loyal Tangi. Go to Jeranism.com/crypto. Sign up, or go to cryptoclass101.com.au and do a 15-minute free consultation with Scott, and he'll get you pointed in the right direction. Reminding you Bible believers, it says we will throw God in the streets. If the power goes out, many people will be out money either way. I wish we'd snap back to farms and trade. Yeah, me too, but we can get there. That's what I'm trying to say, is that I think we can get there. I think crypto can lead a lot of us there. And you don't even need that much. You don't need, I know I say that like $1,000 isn't that much, but I mean, I think anybody over the next couple months, if you really hunker down, which is what it takes. Like I said, I don't have car payments. I don't have direct TV. We don't buy new clothes. We don't go out to eat. We've had to do all those things to have enough money to save and put them into coins. And if they all go to zero, which is a high impossibility, it's not going to be, I'm not going to cry about it. Do you get paid in dollars or Bitcoin from YouTube? From YouTube, I get paid in dollars. Yep. They do not pay in crypto, but in Rockfin, I get paid in crypto. So, Richard being a no-show and standing Jaron and David Weiss up brought me to Jaron's show, Flat Earth. And he did finally fulfill that. It was 6 months almost to the day. Oh, wow. So the dollar does have value. So if I have one Bitcoin that is worth 48,000, then can I get a half a house in your area still, or does Bitcoin have extra juice? I don't know what you mean. It's the value of a Bitcoin is 48,000, meaning that's the number in between the person willing to sell theirs for the least and the person willing to pay the most. That's all the value is. Don't know what you mean. Can you get a half house? No. I remember the toilet paper. You remember that, Davis? Good memory. I live in I love when cryptos are asked about their other cryptos and they have to say they are all great. When they what? When cryptos are asked about other cryptos and they have to say, it's a false statement. Man, I don't understand. I could never just go into somebody's chat and just sit there and just say words that don't even make sense. People are against other cryptos all the time. People hate other cryptos. I don't know anybody who just says another crypto is good because they have to. That's ridiculous. It's scary that some people really think like that. What is the tax rate on crypto when you pull it out? I heard the same as capital gains. Correct. Yep. Which I don't believe in. And if you come have a consultation, we can talk about that. There are ways to make it so that you are responsible for reporting your capital gains. So it's on you. If you leave your coins, if you buy a Bitcoin for $1,000 on Coinbase and leave it on there, and then it goes up to 50,000, and you go and take it off, or you cash it out, well, Coinbase knows you made 49,000 in capital gains. They report that to the IRS. So the IRS is going to be looking for your 49,000 in capital gains, which, again, I don't like to say this. I feel very dirty for saying it, but if that's the worst thing that happens to you, okay, pay the taxes on it. You made profit. But that's not my direction. My direction is, as soon as you buy that coin for $1,000 on Coinbase, pull it off, put it in your own wallet. Now, when that coin goes to $50,000, guess what? There's nobody who monitored that. There's nobody who knows that, but you. You're responsible at that point for reporting that to your tax man, which you should do it post haste. Okay. Jeremy, odds and ends because he's not playing the free speech card. He's trolling and being annoying. I'll keep watching. Am I way down? Let me see what else he's got to say. Because he's kind of fun, just saying nonsense, and then it's hilarious. It's time in the market, not timing the market. Yes. Oh, that's the wrong person, but you're right. That is true. I have a friend who got rich from selling cash overseas. Processing fees are insane. Crypto solves this. Absolutely. It is life-changing if people woke up to it. So many ways that there's... I remember this guy told me that he used to have to send money to his mom in like Guadalajara or somewhere. I don't remember where. But he said that he would have to send her like 30% extra because there was guys that would sit out front of the MoneyGram place and they would like demand a certain fee. And so if you didn't give them the fee, they would steal all your money. And so all these people knew if they needed $100 or whatever, they'd go get it 130 so they could come out and give the guys $30. Well, crypto takes care of all that, right? It's instant. It's over. Well, it could take 10 minutes, but I mean, it's instant is much more instant than sending money from a bank in the United States to Australia, which could be days till it gets there. And we've got electronic. Why wouldn't it just be instant? It's so dumb. But at least crypto is. Again, you can travel around with that in your head. You can travel the world, and wherever you end up, just download a wallet, put in your seed words, and guess what? You got all your money back. See what else we got here. I'm going to skip through a little bit. Not that one. I pulled out crypto profits for 2 different real estate transactions and then Airbnb them. Nice. I like that. I just noticed he put his Bitcoin shirt on to spew his shit. Yep, absolutely. I'm shilling it. Shilling for Bitcoin because there's no company. So it makes a lot of sense. And if you don't, you obviously are, very, very low on brain cells because hopefully you realize that it doesn't matter how much I shill Bitcoin, it doesn't change the price, bro. Okay? If you think I have an effect on Bitcoin, you don't know shit. So it doesn't, I'm trying to help people. If all of you guys here went and bought $1,000 in Bitcoin right now, wouldn't even budge the price. Okay? Not even budget. No, only through exchanges, which you don't have to use. Right. Canada did not block crypto. They blocked the exchange. Correct. That's why when you buy it from Coinbase, take it off. Put it in your own wallet. The government can't get to your wallet. They don't even know it exists. Don't use centralized exchanges. Amen? People are getting killed, bro. You mean in the war? Does he get paid in Bitcoin? Who? Don't know who you're talking about. We have so many actual devils running around. I can't be worried about some archetype. Yeah, that's the scary one, the one with the horns. He can get you. What site account would you recommend? I have a Coinbase account, but they seem sketchy. They're all sketchy if they're, Local Monero is one that's non-KYC. You might think of it as being sketchy. It's a little bit iffy. I think I'm going to talk about that on next Friday's class because a lot of people want to know about that. But if you're getting an exchange, just get in and get out. Just get what you want, get out. Does the government know that you then have that possession? Not really. Again, plausible deniability. Just because you bought something at Coinbase and took it off of there, they don't know who you took it off to. Whose address does that belong to? Now, they might try and trick you. They might show up and say, when you pull that off Coinbase and put it in your account, what did you do with it from there? And if you go, oh, from there, well, now you've admitted that it's yours. I'm telling you, this is why sometimes a consultation isn't bad, so you can get some of these questions answered and you know how to react. Crypto takes the power out of their hands. Absolutely. Glad there is some people. Oops, sorry. Suso, thank you very much for saying that. That is true. It could really cause a uproar. Again, imagine this. Right now, we can't see where any of our tax money goes. All I know is I drive in California down the freeway at night, and there's 75 Caltrans workers standing there while one guy shovels. And I'm like, what's going on there? And I know what goes on there. It's that they're given government contracts and there is nobody else who bids. It's just Caltrans. So why wouldn't they just hire a bunch of employees that don't need to do shit? With crypto, if we can actually see where the money's going, this is why the government coin must be, it's like going to be blocked for us to see their transactions. Because imagine if we got to see Nancy Pelosi's money. What's going on with that? Nancy, where are you getting all this tax advice from? Die already. A centralized exchange is just like a bank branch and can be blocked. Exactly. Yep. They are rich because all the killing and styling from deads, not because they not gratitude themselves. Alrighty. He actually did say it was going to save us. No, I said it could. How would I don't see the future. Oh, Bitcoin will save us. Nope, it needs a lot of people to wake up. Nicholas Brown, what's up, bro? Privacy coins, he says. I agree. You are OPEC without a military, all right? And you are here watching something you don't like. Isn't that funny? Whose life is more pathetic? Let me think. Bitcoin will be the Beanie Babies of the future. Then you don't understand crypto or Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies was a collector's item that was kind of like the Tulip Mania, right? It hit a bubble. I don't think you understand what's going on with crypto. It's not the same thing. Thanks, what's up? Yep. That's actually very possible. Currency has the value society puts on it, correct. No people, no energy, no value. If they rob your coins of energy and traffic, the value would decrease. What's actually possible? That the coins go to zero? No. What you don't understand is that the coins have a value that we place on them. So for instance, if I bought a Bitcoin today for $45,000, what would have to happen for the price to go to zero? That would mean that I would give my coin away for $0, the one I just paid $45,000? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take less than 40. See what I'm saying? Can't go to zero. If it gets wiped out, that doesn't even make sense. How did a computer get to every single private key? None of those things that you're describing are actually possible and would have happened in the last 12 years already. It's like you want things to fail. It's like you almost work for them or something. It's pretty disgusting. Yes, not worth cashing out. Wait until you can purchase things. Yes, I agree. Bitcoin is impossible. All right, that's a good statement. $10 a week into crypto right now. I'm starting small. It's good. That's called dollar cost averaging. Smart move. When Pulse Chain launches, I will use PulseX primarily. I think most people will. I put $5 into crypto at 65K. It's now worth $3. Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. What do you mean? Cool. I wouldn't have put $5 into Bitcoin. That's not very smart. Who and where did Bitcoin start? 2009 by some guys at a cyberpunks forum. They just wrote a white paper. Go read the white paper. Simple, short. It describes person-to-person exchange of digital currency without the need of a central bank. That's all it does. Now, everything that's taken off from there, a lot of it's been co-opted. Jesuits control crypto. Don't fool yourselves. All right, well, again, they just control everything too, right? I mean, they control everything. So should we just all give up? Let's just all do a Branch Davidians or Lemmings, just go off the cliff. I don't see why we even try. Jesuits control everything. Yep. The blockchain is the framework for the social credit system. Okay. Bitcoin was designed to make the blockchain intriguing to this newer, younger generation. Conspiracy Stacker has not a clue. Not a clue. You weren't around in 2012. If they designed it to be picked up or to be intriguing, then it would have gone up the whole time. You would have people, they didn't have that. It goes back. It falls back every once in a while. People have gotten hurt with Bitcoin. Number two, there isn't a bank that took it for 5 years. So it's not even attractive now. I mean, I'm doing this whole show. 10% of the country even owns any. So you're just saying things. It's not like 80% of people have crypto. 10%. 10%. So how is it intriguing to the newer generation? It's funny that you would even say that. I haven't done any consultations with the newer generation. How about that? None. It's people that have money like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. That's the people involved in it. But it's the framework for the social credit system. Okay, so the blockchain is something that's been around, right? So that has nothing to do with necessarily Bitcoin. I mean, as far as like, well, I mean, it is the backbone of Bitcoin, but I'm saying it's not like, how do I describe it? You're saying that it was made for the social credit system, or you're saying they're just going to utilize that? I just think we're missing data points. Like, we can't just say because something's being used, it was designed for that. No, it's the blockchain will be used for everything in 10 years. Everything. And we can't stop that. Why we think we're so strong? Oh, just stopped. Did you guys try and stop, email? Did you try and stop digital videos and digital photographs? Or did you accept that things move on? I'm not happy about it. I don't want to have digital coins and do all this stuff, but we don't have a choice. You sitting there and pouting is not going to stop the inevitable. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. You've had a digital ID for decades. Absolutely. Your car is tracked. They have your license plate number, and there's license plate scanners all over your city that scan you constantly. So it's made up. Is what made up? Crypto? Yes. Same thing as your dollar bill in your pocket, bro. Same thing. Dollar bill's got nothing backing it. It's no different than a $100 bill, except for people see the 100 on it and treat it better than they treat the one with a 1. That's all it is. Why would anyone be up here pushing this shit so hard and getting so pissed? Because it's pathetic that truthers can't see the truth to me. That's pretty sad. It's something I realized pretty late, but it's just pretty sad that something why wouldn't we get behind it? What is going to happen to you? What do you think is going to happen? That they're going to drop the hammer and steal all your money? The government's going to steal everybody's crypto? What exactly do you think is going to happen? Why not say, hey, this could be something, rather than play the victim all the time? The NWO is just bringing in the social credit system, so fucking stop them. Use crypto and stop it. What is crying like a little bitch going to do to stop it? Pretty sure that's just going to bring it on even faster. The reality is that crypto is the future. Thank you for saying that. And that basically is inarguable. Right. Just like the ATM card. We aren't going back. Amen. That's all I'm saying. So you can either spend months and months and months learning it like I had to in 2012, or you can come to a consultation with one of us, and in an hour, you can know what's going on. You can feel safer about it. You can own some, and everybody's happy. If you don't want to own any, then don't. You don't have to come to a consultation. It's not mandatory. But all I ask is that when people are arguing, bring good points against crypto and don't back the dollar. When you just come in and say, oh, it's the blockchain is the NWO system. So what are you saying, that we should continue using the dollar that's enslaved everybody for hundreds of years? I don't know. Okay, look at all coins charts. Why all 100,000 coins fall in the same minute in all cases about the free market rule, or all under the same button? Well, it's a little bit complicated, but yeah, I mean, it really does come down to Bitcoin rules at all, because Bitcoin is what's used to buy it all. Bitcoin's the only thing you can buy any coin with. Every single coin can be bought with Bitcoin. So clearly that's why it's number one. And when it doesn't do well, it's usually an indicator that the whole market is having trouble. So it would be surprising if Bitcoin fell and all the other coins were being purchased. That would mean something happened to Bitcoin to cause it to go down, but something good happening to the other coins. When is that going to happen? Usually what happens is there's something in the ether, something in the market, something in the newspaper that says, oh, Janet Yellen's going to do this bullshit or whatever, or people get frightened, and so they cut back on everything. They can, kind of give up on everything. Make your fiat profits now, turn them into physical assets. You'll own nothing and be happy. Right. And the WEF, that's their plan. And so I'm saying, what are our other options to stop them? What else do we have? There's ways to make Swiss bank accounts in your pocket or in your head today. And if you don't know that, I feel like you're being left behind. It's called Hart's Law. Yes. The central bankers own the telecommunications industry, which crypto depends on. So does your money. So what do you mean? What doesn't depend on it? Why? I don't understand how do we not think thoughts through before we type them? How do we just come and just type words, and then it's so easy for me just to defeat? Like, nothing is that easy to defeat, but stuff when you guys are talking about crypto. It's like embarrassingly wrong. It's like, the central bankers own the telecommunication, which crypto depends on. So what are you going to say? They're going to take down the phone lines? That's their method of stopping crypto? I just don't get where you're going with that. I am a shill. Did you know that? I'm easily a shill. It's been reported for the last 7 years. Should have figured it out already. I can't be convinced to buy into Bitcoin. It's a tough one. Why do that when the most of it will do is double in 5 years? I agree with you. The same investment in privacy coins will multiply exponentially Bitcoin to the 2010 to current. Yeah, the only reason I think Bitcoin is a good buy is if you want something stable. And what I mean by stable is, it's been between 35 and 50 for a while. You might not think of that as stable, but if the dollar ever crashes, Bitcoin will go up. And in my mind, I keep going back to that 21 million. It is the one coin. I think Ethereum will pass it. But there's only 21 million coins in the world, and we won't even see that many. We'll be dead. So let's say there's 21 million. There's 150 million homes in the United States. To me, if I owned a home right now, I'd be ecstatic. Oh man, I can leave it. So that tells me in 10 years, if I own one Bitcoin, I'm going to be in good shape. It might be as good as a house. Okay. Now, when I told people that originally, Bitcoin was 12,000. Now it's a little bit more. So will it continue to move up? I don't know. I told my sister I've been right about everything with coins for a long time, as far as every year it goes up. I told my sister last year, I said, mark your calendar on this date I said, Bitcoin's 56,000. Message me in a year, and I bet you it's over that. Well, she messaged me this year and said, it's been the year, and it's down to 42,000. It's like, all right, well, there's a year that it didn't go up. There you go. So it doesn't always happen. But again, a year from now, I would say it's going to be higher. Don't invest in privacy coins. Okay. I don't know why not. Let's see here. In Coinbase, if I subtract my coins to a wallet, will that lock my money with it like Doge? Take $100. Is that locked up in the wallet? And if I choose to sell it, would I have to load it to sell it? Okay, it's a little bit convoluted. No, it doesn't. Nothing freezes anything. If you take your coins out of a wallet like Coinbase and put them in your own wallet, it's there. Now you can spend it or whatever you want to do with it. So I don't know what you mean by lock it. Will it lock up in the wallet? And if I choose to sell it, you would send it back to Coinbase and cash it out and put it in your bank account. Or sell it to somebody on the street or buy something from your neighbor. That's ideally what we want to start doing. If you need privacy, just exchange into those coins and use it. Don't hold them. Okay. I don't know if that's true. 250 with 25 successful 25% trades makes you a millionaire. Nice. Doug, these people are crazy. Thanks for sharing all your opinions, brother. I always appreciate them. Thanks, Doug. It's all right. People are crazy. Yes. Hey, what's up, Bob? How's Bob? Thanks, Bob. Let's see what else we got here. Why would they lie about Bitcoin? I don't know if that's for me. I own Bitcoin. I don't want it to fail. I'm just brutally honest person with myself and others. But what did you say about it? Whatever you said was not really brutally honest. It was brutally wrong, wasn't it? The reality is that crypto is the future, and that's basically inarguable. You said something good there. That's actually very possible. Currency. Okay, so you're talking about the coin going to zero. So you own some Bitcoin. So imagine what it would take for you to sell your Bitcoin for zero. Would you do that? Would you let me buy it for $1 right now? No, right? Okay, because it's got value to you. That's what it has. That's its value, right? So you can place a huge value on it and say it's worth 10 billion if you want, and then you'll never be able to get that price for it, right? So all that happens is the price of Bitcoin is the medium point between who's got it that's willing to buy it for the least, willing to buy it for the most, and who's selling it for the least. In between there is that price point, which is why it changes because it's different at each exchange. But for it to go to zero would take Bitcoin getting hacked and all the coins destroyed somehow. It's an impossibility. It would already have happened. It's been 12 years, in my mind. Ever notice how all the anti-gun people never even touched a gun before? I'm seeing a trend. Yeah, it's true. When you read some of these questions, do you worry about the future of the human race? I do anyway. I've been very disappointed recently with the human race. I mean, look what happened. I mean, yeah, it's sad. I don't know whether to be more sad for them or to be more impressed with those who did it, because they're blatant about it now. I mean, the WEF is out there just telling people what they're going to do. We're going to do this, and you're going to own nothing, and we're going to do this. And this guy over here, he believes that we are going to be hooked into computers, and our minds are going to go in the metaverse. And people are like, okay, all right, I got to go to work tomorrow. So, I mean, it's pretty bad out there, if you ask me. Pretty bad. I've been sitting on a paper wallet since 2010. Well, what do you have on there? I had a paper wallet with 50. Oh, I wish we could wake up to those again. That's true. All my consultants are people over 40. No, Scott, it's just the new generation. It's meant to, crypto was made so that we could get them involved in the blockchain, because the only way they would be attracted to the blockchain is to make money from it. It's a dumb belief. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You probably don't remember, but you wisely talked me out of calling NASA from a Poncho hangout in 2016. Globuster, sorry. I was like, me? I did? Paper wallet for loyal Tangi too. Paper wallets can still be made today. You don't need to have any other kind. Dollar bills have the U.S. military backing it. I don't know about that. What do you mean by that? So I can take my $100 bill and get a free G.I. Jane? I'm down. I'll find out where they're doing that exchange program. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. And steal for the seed phrases. Yep. You want to get a little. It comes with a little pen. I had some. Do I have a little pen down here? These little pens are dangerous. I don't know if I still have it here. Yeah, they come with these little metal plates that are pretty cheap, and then they come with these pens. Oops, where's my camera? And it's just a really sharp metal engraving pen, and then you just write your words on the metal plate. I did see somebody had a pretty good idea about seed words. You guys want a little trick on seed words real quick? I don't know how many people are actually watching or that are into crypto, but let's do this real quick. Let's say that you put this over here. Where's that blue screen going? Just want to show you real quick, because the seed words, what's going on? Where did this thing on? Hold on 1 second. I don't know where this was before. Why is it not being seen? Let's go browser solo. Nope. Gone. Nowhere. All right, we'll go back here. Gotta get these scenes to work one day. What is going on here? Left display, lefty, and it's over here. Just to show you, because my sister one time showed me. She's like, "What do you think of this?" It was like a funny. It was like a poem. I was like, "I don't know, it's a poem." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't know, it's all right, I guess." She's like, "Oh no, those are my seed words." Like, oh wait. And then I looked at it. It's like 12 lines. I was like, "You mean the last word of every line?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Don't do that. That's not smart." She's like, "Why not? You didn't know it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but somebody could figure that out. That's just not smart with your seed words." And so she said, "Okay, I guess I'll do something different." I'm like, "Yeah, you don't want to." It was like in her phone, this poem. Like, don't do that. So be careful about what you do. But this is a pretty good. Oops. Sorry, I'm gonna re-square this up. I saw this idea and I liked it. I was like, okay, I might do that. So let's say you've got your seed words. Okay, so if you don't know, there's something called the BIP 39 word list. Okay, so we're going to pop it up here. We're going to look up, you just search for BIP 39 word list. This is the 2048 words that, hello? Oh, I hate when it searches there. I want to go to Google. BIP 39, oh boy, 39 word list. So there's 2048 possible words. Okay. And oops, that's not wrong. Yeah, it is. Nope. I'm going to go to one that gives me the numbers. This one will work. Okay. So here's the full list of, no, it's compatible wallets, recovery phrase. Where is the word list? What? I want the word list. Hold on. I'm going to find the word list, not just some of it. BIP 39 word list PDF. That'll work. This one work. All right. Thank you. Can I zoom in? So this is the, remember, all your seed words consist of these words, okay? And every word is numbered, if you notice. So, hold on, let me zoom out here. What happened? Oh, they go that way. Okay. So this has the 2048 words all the way down to the bottom. So every word has a number. So what somebody said they've done, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's say that you're writing down your seed words, and your seed words are, let me just bring this up so I can, we're going to pull in here. And let's say our seed words are donate, fat, grant jewel. Okay, so we're going to go donate, whoops, fat, I don't forget what I said, donate, fat, F-A-T, no, I don't see it again. Whatever, donate, fat, grant jewel. Okay, so your seed words would look something like this, right? Grant jewel. Remember, you'd have 12 of them. All right, so what somebody was talking about doing is taking the numbers of each one. So, for example, donate's number, and it will always be this, it doesn't change. Donate is 520. Another thing you can do, by the way, if you put the first four letters, the words are always the same, meaning no two words have the same first four letters. So you really only need to write down the first four. In fact, I believe it's my ledger. If I type in DONA, it will complete the word because there's only one possibility. So anyway, donate is 520. Okay, but we have to have 4 digits. So I'm just going to put 0520. Okay, that's the first word I can get rid of donate because that number 0520 will always be donate. The next one is FAT, F-A-T. It's 667. So we're going to go 0667. Now we can get rid of FAT. Now we've got grant. Grant is 813. So we're going to go 0813. And again, these all are, not 4 digits because I grabbed them from the exact same spot of the list. And Joule is 959. So we're going to go 0959. Okay. 0959. Now imagine we just have 8 more words. So I'm just going to type in a bunch of numbers. So it ends up that is your private key. That is your seed words, right? Now somebody could find that. That could be really good. Well, in your mind, you would have to come up with some sort of a replacement key. Let's say my replacement key is I like the number 1 and I like the number 8. Okay, now I don't tell anybody that, but to me, every 8 becomes a 1, every 1 becomes an 8. So I go through, anytime I see an 8, becomes a 1. Anytime I see a 1, becomes an 8. 8. And then we go through and we look for 1s and 8s. There's a 1, becomes an 8. There's a 1, becomes an 8. 1 becomes an 8. 8 becomes a 1. I don't remember if that was 1 or not. And then there's another 8, becomes a 1. And then we've got 888 here. All right. So once you've done that, now you're the only one who knows that key. No one's ever going to be able to figure that out. And then what they did is they did something like this, where now all of a sudden you can make it look like this. Let's see if you see what I'm doing. That to me is an excellent way of keeping your seed words in a way that you'd be able to travel around the world. And if they found this in your pocket, a piece of paper, there's no way anybody would know that your entire finances, everything you have, exists right here in your list of your best friend's phone numbers. Okay. So somebody did this and I thought it was brilliant. I said, yeah, there's no way anybody's going to guess that is seed words. Even after me saying this, if you found a list of phone numbers, you wouldn't know which number to change. It would be a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare. But something like that. So then they had all these numbers here. Oops. And the only thing is you better remember what number to change or else you're going to be SOL. Whatever. Okay. So then you have a number like that. That's just phone numbers, but it's also your seed words exist in there. So again, that's the BIP 39 word list. And if you get those little metal plates and there's not enough room to write the whole word, you only need to write down the first 4 letters or 3 letters if it's a 3-letter word. Because if you look here, as we zoom in here, there's no word has the same first 4. So COMP, there can only be 1. CONC, there can only be 1. COND can only be 1. CONF, CONG, CONN. Do you see that? So there's never the first 4 letters ever repeat. So there'll never be DOLP, DOLP. And that allows you to only have to write down the first 4 because from that you'd always be able to get the word. Okay. Let's go back to the chat and see if there's anything else before I shut her down. CBDC is coming a lot sooner than we think. I don't know. Somebody just told me they just posted a job for somebody to create it. Oh, that was Canada. Canada just posted a job for somebody to create it. It's pretty funny. So if I ask you a question with all consideration for your work in the movement, but you decide it's better to call me a pathetic and pussy because I try to understand that's not real is not real? What? I don't know. Did I call you? What did you say I did? I called you a pathetic pussy? There must have been a reason for that. I usually don't just throw that around there, but I do throw it out there sometimes. I don't remember what you said. I'm trying to scroll back. It must have been really bad. It just means that you haven't researched it all. I don't see your other post. Sorry. I already went back quite a ways. I don't see it. RAD and you have a purple icon. I don't see you. Sorry. Well, if you're not a pussy, then then that's fine. Then we'll allow you to exist. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that old batch worth over 300 million. She's not even going to be able to enjoy it, losing her damn mind. Victimhood is keeping us all enslaved. Thank you very much. Earth first, space later. How do we get over it? Conspiracies are. Was you, Jaron? I wish more channels would engage like this. Yeah, I guess not enough do anymore. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Very kind of you. What happens when EMP, cyber attack, and just personal erasure? You have nothing. It doesn't work that way. Go back and watch from the beginning of the show. They cannot erase your money. It exists on millions of computers. So you can't just like zap my computer or my phone and be like, "Ha, your money's gone." No, the money exists on everybody else's computer, and there's only one person who has the private key, and that's me. Most coins are correlated to BTC. Yes. Can I get a loan and buy a house with crypto? Yes. PMAs for the win? Yes. If one chooses to put all the eggs in a single basket, one deserves what comes. It's Confucius say, right? Yes. It's possible, but not advised to get a loan on crypto. There's a lot of places offering them, yeah, but I don't know if it's safe. I haven't not done that. Litecoin, Zcash, Horizon, Monero are the coins I hodl. Nice. A lot of high-end product sellers accept crypto. Yes. Pretty soon everybody will, because it makes no sense not to. Mostly because if it's going up, right? If you sell Jaguars and somebody says, I'll give you a Bitcoin for a Jaguar, you'd be dumb not to, because the year later, that coin's going to be worth more, except for if it happened to like my sister, but it should be worth more to where you actually made more money on that car, right? So what more people need to realize is you can cash out immediately, meaning just take the Bitcoin and then immediately cash it out, and you got the cash for it, and everybody's happy. But a lot of people don't know that. Debt-free fiat currency administered by Treasury based on the value of goods with full transparency would be infinitely better than crypto. Easier said than done. It's impossible. That's just it's never happened in the history of the world. So to think it would come all of a sudden, I don't think so. I don't know. Just the other day, some girl got caught with, what is it, millions of dollars leaving some country. Was it the Ukraine? It's just crazy to me. I mean, it's so funny. Just millions of dollars being traveled around with, and we're struggling to make 100. It's happening. Fidelity is creating infrastructure. Right. So all these companies that are now adopting Bitcoin, it's not because they were secretly not adopting it when they knew it was going to be in the future adopted. No, they honestly thought it would fail, hoped it would fail, tried to do anything they could. Is this the Baby Truther Show? It is, but where were you on Wednesday night? Claptrap? You're supposed to have an appointment. We had an appointment. You didn't show up. You owe me $20. I trust my intuition. I will not invest in crypto. I do not like money at all. We have to find a way to escape the slave system. Okay. The slave system exists because of the money that you use right now. So try something new. Try to start accepting that or using it, paying for things in it, tipping people in it, and you watch how that grows. The problem is when we just sit here in chats and say it's terrible, it's from the devil, then it's not going to grow. We have to defeat the Antarctic Treaty. Yep, that could take more than crypto to be free to explore. And I keep hearing people say, oh, you can go there, you can't go there. Why didn't somebody prove that then? I mean, I don't understand why somebody doesn't just go there and say, look, I'm walking around by myself. I don't think it happens. Crypto is still in the wild, wild west days, right? Those who are smart can make money on both sides of the fence if you are wise. I don't know how to short coins, though. I don't even know. I guess I don't know enough about shorting things, because there is some coins I would short. Bitcoin is so great that they take my fiat dollar that has no value in exchange for it. Yeah, okay. What? Fiat dollar has no value? You don't understand what value means. Sorry. It wouldn't go up relative to the dollar, though. What wouldn't? Coin? If the dollar crashes, the value of Bitcoin will go up. Yes, because the dollar crashed. Right. If the dollar is not worth as much, then that's why the Bitcoin would be worth much, much more. But it's a hedge of inflation. It's meant so that you still have that left. Because if you only have dollars, then you have stuff worth nothing. Right? You're not going to magically fall into millions of dollars. You're going to have $100,000, and then when it crashes, you're going to have $5,000. But you're going to have coins that go up to what you had. It's your hedge. Do you see what I'm saying? You escape the slave system by having money to escape the slave system. Nope. Money is different than you're thinking. It's a digital asset that can be exchanged without a bank. How do you not see the brilliance behind it? Why would you keep comparing it to a system that has enslaved people through debt creation? All the money that's been in circulation has been created through debt, through a system where the Federal Reserve writes a fraudulent check to themselves. So why promote that? How is that any better than crypto? But yet you'll sit here and act like we should all just go back to dollars, just sit here and be enslaved. because you do know that none of us will ever be rich with dollars. You realize that, right? You realize that there's people like Jeff Bezos who have $260 billion. I mean, it's insanity. Think of how much $10 million is. Holy shit, how happy would we all be? 10 million. Woo! 20 million. Holy smokes, that's a lot of money. 50 million bucks. $100 million is ridiculous. $100 million, we're all set for life. 200 million. 500 million. 900 million. $999 million. And guess what? The next million is just 1 billion. And we've got to do that all over again to get to 2. And we got to do that all over again to get to 3. And Jeff Bezos has 260 billion. And Elon Musk has 240 billion or more than that. We've lost the game, okay? So keep advocating for a dollar that has the rich being infinitely more powerful than us in every possible way, even though we do all the work for them. Do you think Elon Musk builds his cars? Is he down there in the factory putting them together? Or is it people, right? So the problem is we don't know when to stand up for ourselves. We just keep taking it on the chin, keep getting back up, and just don't even care. Punch me again, Uncle Sam. Punch me again. Even if I hated crypto, which I don't, I wish Jaron the best of luck with his investments. Thank you very much. And move on. Yeah, and this was just to let you guys know one more time that we moved sites so you don't get confused. I think you should join the crypto group. It's the best $10 you're going to spend, and it keeps me from having to get a job. It keeps me doing this. I enjoy it. I enjoy the Friday nights. I enjoy talking to you guys daily, watching this stuff, and I don't really watch it as much as everybody else, but unfortunately, because of the nature of the job that I do hear about it. It's not like I can stay away from the price of pirate. Somebody will tell me in a day or two. I hate money too. If I have to leave something to my grandkids, crypto is another good tool away from fiat. Yeah, I can't stand money. I mean, like I said, and I hate to say this because I don't want people to be like, oh, you're a sellout, this and that. If one of my coins hit and it was 3 million, I mean, I'm giving up everything. As far as I'm going to live, I'm going to find a house where I can live, put some money away, where I can relax, have my son. Everything's safe. We got a fence around it. Now I can shoot anybody who comes on the property. Stay away from them. I don't want any vaccines. I don't want any. I'm not wearing any masks in this land, and that's it. Now, if I can still happily do shows, I would love to do that. That would be ideal. The thing is, that is a possibility only because of crypto. It is not a possibility if I stick to money. Money can't grow like that. Money can't appreciate like that. However, coins can. Why do you say? Because you keep adding more fucking money to the system. In Bitcoin, there's 21 million ever. And there's actually less than that because 1 million stuck in Satoshi's wallets. 3 million, they say, have been lost. So you're probably talking 16 million total. 16 million of something. And I think if you have one, you're in real good shape. If you own 0.25, you own more than 99% of the world forever. It's impossible to change. These are things we can't grasp because we're not used to things that are finite. We don't know how much gold there is. They can go mine a bunch next week. They can go mine a bunch of silver. We don't know the amount that there is. Those numbers are just pretend to me. How can they say the value of gold if I don't know how many there are? What's the value? Who made that up? But with coins, we know how many there are. We know how many Bitcoin are in circulation now, and it's a cut and dry. It can't change. I mean, well, it increases slowly till it gets to the 21 million. But you contracted for the dollar SP. Even if the dollar collapsed, you still pay with the dollar. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I've never been a part of a money collapse, so I've always wondered how that exactly works, but I don't know. I mean, has anybody been here for a month? I don't even know how that works. I don't even know. What do you wake up one day and they're like, the dollar's crashed. Well, what's it worth? $1. Oh, I don't really know how that. I don't know really what happens there. Guess I got to learn about that. Yes, Bitcoin is Bitcoin his, not the way out of the system. It's what they want for us. Again, then go give up. I don't know why you're even trying, because everything that happens to you is what they want. You know. Well, good, Jaron. I'm enjoying the show. Great work. Just bought a house through Bitcoin. Really? Listening to from South Africa. Nice. They took money. They took Bitcoin for your house, or for the house you bought. That's sweet. Both of you will always be broke. Thank you. To defeat the Antarctic Treaty, you have to find out what the fuck we are. What are the investment recommendations? I've got a bunch, but I mean, I don't like giving coins out like that because, again, like I said, if the market's going up, you could literally draw coins out of a hat and you'll do huge numbers. And when the market's going down, you literally could not, for the life of you, pick the winning coins. It's just not the way it works. Bots do a good job of doing arbitrage and taking little profits here and there. And for the most part, those big investors, when they come in, can make or break everybody because they can, kind of sweep the rug from everybody. But if you wait, it'll come back. Just got to wait. I'm not broke. I'm fine. And Bitcoin isn't going to save me or anyone. Great. So again, you're wrong because I had 50 Bitcoin. If I just would have saved them, I'd have 2 million, 2.5 million today. So it would have saved me. So talk to the people that have gotten rich and tell them that they weren't saved by Bitcoin. I bet you they laugh in your face. See here, we got anybody else? Let's scroll down a little bit further. Way to stick to your convictions, Scott. Yes, Jeranism. I bought Bitcoin to my first address my ledger gave me. Do I use that address always? Yep, you can. It's up to you. Some people like to change it up so that it's kind of obscured and doesn't look like it's going to the same place. But if only you know about the address, like I've got my ledger, it's got one address on it for Bitcoin. I've got that saved on my computer, and every time I send money to it, I just send to that same address. It doesn't really bother me. Nobody knows it's my address, so nobody can click on it and find out how much I've in there. I bought a Tesla Model X directly with Monero, upside down. Ew, Tesla. Ugh. You bought it with Monero through the dealership? I know you could do that. Stop talking shit about things you don't fully understand, especially here in this chat. No one wants to hear it. Hopefully that wasn't to me. Might have been. So instead of addressing if less traffic would devalue a coin, you bring up a straw man about value reduced to 0. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were talking about. It's not a straw man. I thought that's what we were talking about. I think it's obvious for everyone it was very plausible. Wait. Now you're arguing on behalf of the straw man? I'm confused. So instead of addressing if less traffic would devalue the coin, yes. Yes, the value of coins is based off of what people feel about it. Same thing as the dollar. So if less people started using the dollar in the world, would that devalue the dollar? Yes. That's simple. I don't know why you need to ask me that question. If less traffic would devalue the coin. Sure, if people don't need it, then they're probably going to another coin, which is going to get some of that value, right? I don't get the question. I don't know what would be the other answer? No. Nope. Nobody could use it, and it would gain value every day. Be one person with it. It would end up being $35 million. No. I think you can figure that out on your own. Crypto is all about being rich. Money is a slave tool and will never set us free. The day we choose love instead of ego, we will be free. That's bullshit. All right. Drady, the first 4 letters is all you need? Yes. These people acting as if the digital CBDC USD that will be introduced in the next 2 years is going to be any better or different than decentralized privatized crypto or mentally handicapped. Wait. That will be introduced in the next 2 years is going to be any better. I've never heard any people think it's going to be better. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to have all kinds of cool little insight. Like, I bet you if you get robbed or scammed out of the CBDC, they'll repay you. Why? Because they print it all. So what do they give a shit? It'll be like that. There'll be so many incentives for people to go, oh, crypto. Like, you can go get Monero, you can get Bitcoin, but if you send it to the wrong address, it disappears forever. But if you send our digital bank coin to the wrong address, we'll get it back for you tomorrow. Why? Because they can go get it back. Because they are centralized. They'll make it sound like it's a bad thing what's happening with Bitcoin, when what happens in Bitcoin, I've never seen anybody give money to the wrong address and lose it. It hasn't happened once. They'll scare you with that, and people think it's a bad thing. Like, oh yeah, there's nobody there to protect my money. No, you are. It's you. You protect it. We don't need banks. Think how much money a bank is charging for the electricity, for the gas, for the lights, for the building, for the people that work there, for the parking lot. Guess who's paying for that? You are. Alphonse, what steps have you taken to make this a possibility? Crypto will help us get away from the demon system if you would just look into it more and listen. I think so. I mean, I think you have to get in and get out. Don't get too caught up in it. Don't pay attention to it every single day. I'll make you sick. I don't believe he was bashing crypto, but didn't read every comment. But people should start growing their own food. Our body and brain needs this electrically, spiritually, etc. Yeah, I agree with that, though. I do agree with that. And I would like to get there. The problem is I can't move anywhere. I don't have any money. So how can I just move to a land out? I need to make money. So these are the things where, yeah, I guess you got to play in the system to get out. That's my opinion of it. I don't think there's any other chance like this to where you could do something today that in 10 years provides a retirement for a YouTuber. Should I be retired at 50? I would thank my lucky stars, and I would have to thank coins for it if it ever happens. We all want total freedom, and this is an avenue that can get us there. Just listen and learn. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, but I get it. People are very, very against it, those who are. Here, I mean, this person, crypto is 100% controlled. I mean, it makes no sense. So somebody wanted me to have $2.5 million today? Who controlled me to sell it? It just doesn't make sense. Why do people think that if you get into crypto, you abandon all other important things like good food, clean water? I don't know. I don't know. It's because they don't want to look into it. It's because it sucks. Do you still live in Taxifornia? Why? I do because I'm waiting to find the right place. So Dave's going down to Mexico. I think he's there right now. He flew there today. So he's going down to Mexico. He's taking pictures of all the places we've looked at. And then I probably need to go down to Texas and look down there. So does that answer your question? Because I don't make hastily moves with a 18-month-old. I've inherited protein, Scotland. Should I rent it out for crypto? Huh? Okay, I don't get that one. Large-scale EMP is fake as nukes. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you for saying that. People love to be scared of things that the government warns us of that's never happened. Never happened. All the power's gone out in the world. It's a big deal if like a tenth of your city goes out in the worst weather possible. People are like, they're going to shut down the internet tomorrow. The whole world? Yes, I guess so. Oh, yeah. Sure, that's going to happen. Obviously, we're not wealthy enough to get out of California yet, or we wouldn't be here. Yep, I don't have money to move, but Mexico, guys, Dave's going to send some pictures. They've got like brand new houses, never been lived in, $80,000. So, I've inherited. Oh, we read that already. Let's keep going. Tonto Bonranto. What up, degenerates? I'm 100 times leveraged on Dogecoin right now. Well, good luck to you. Central bank digital currency is coming in 2 years. Oops. If you think anything will be backing it, you're a fool. True. It will be deflating forever, just like paper. It will be inflating. Crypto won't learn economics. I don't know if I read that wrong. The CBDC coin will be inflating, not deflating. $100,000 invested, then 1,000 times is $1 million. Yes. What up, Hawkeye? I'm just playing. I don't leverage. I'm an idiot. You can buy portions of pennies that turn into dollars. Yes. I mine but sell. Haha. Okay, we're getting there. See, we're getting down here. Flat Earth equals truth. Amen. I bought a Canon P900 Nikon after watching your show, and ships do not disappear over the horizon. They do not. Just had to say this. Love your channel. Take it up. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that. Alphonse, you can be negative. It's all right. We can handle them. We can have a new system where everybody does their part that they are good at and can offer services instead of money. No one's ever thought of that. Wow, really? We just all get along and we just do services. I like it. Again, you have to have a mode of exchange, which would always equate to money. Money is always going to be there. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. What if you have a chicken and you need a tooth cleaning? Maybe the dentist doesn't need a chicken. So you have to have a representation of the value of the chicken to give to the dentist. I don't know where I got chicken and dentist, just to give me a break. I think I'm getting better at it. Being a truther helps you read the Matrix. It's pretty scary out there, though. It's pretty scary. Mike Mitchelson, what's up? Twin turbo small displacement engines. Okay, I go scroll a lot more. My back hurts. Jason Starr, do you elevate your bed? My lower back used to kill me. Well, just in the morning, like first 15 minutes or so. Then Dave told me to elevate my bed. We elevated about maybe it's 8 inches, might be 6. And very first day, my wife said, "You didn't snore last night." And then I woke up and said, "My back didn't hurt." You think we've gone back? Not one time. The only thing that sucks is the first week, you slide down the bed. Keep sliding down the bed. But after the first week, you get over it. Don't try anything new. Just keep trying stuff that doesn't work. We'll gain our freedom that way for sure. For real, though, who owns the Wayback Machine? How much storage do they have? Got to be Google. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's... do they keep everything? No, right? There's no videos on there, so it just keeps the text end of it. It's pretty insane, though. I've thought that, too. What if they shut down the internet is a very weak argument. It doesn't make a lot of sense, no. Jaron, the dollar deflates, the cost of products inflates. I guess you're right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yep, I have it wrong. I just when I hear inflation, I'm thinking prices go up, value of the dollar goes down. But you're right, the value deflates. Good call. I'm a shill diluted. Yes, former shill, and then washed off with a little distilled water. Exactly. Fuck money. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so funny. People, money doesn't buy you happiness. Bullshit. Bullshit. But when somebody steals your truck, like right now, if I looked outside and my truck was stolen, I'd be like, what the, where's my, I got to go worry about it. What if I was a millionaire? What happened? Somebody stole a truck? I'm getting a Tacoma tomorrow anyway. Yeah, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you less stress and bomb ass hoes. So, for being honest, they can do the same to your bank account if you have one. It's a weak argument. Yes, go back and forth with land. Land is worth not that shit. Crypto, BS shit. Duke Nukem, man, you got some vocab. You're a really good writer. You should write a book. You probably get a lot of sales. Haven't had a bank account in years. Yeah, it's a good thing. I had to get one, so I've got one. And as soon as I got it, the IRS came and took $1,400 from it. So thanks a lot. They're doing a tax on bank accounts currently with the whole $600 BS. Right. So you don't want to be in banks. Now, I showed you guys the running total of crypto transactions. They can't do anything if they decide to say, oh, if it's over $600, you got to do it. Well, then what are they going to do? Just watch numbers on the screen and be like, I wonder if it's that guy. They wouldn't have a clue. We need to find out who the real enemies are. WEF. Stop them. WEF. There are many indications that it's the Vatican that rules. Maybe. We live in the new Roman Empire. Possibly. That's why we see their symbols everywhere. Good. So, what do we need to do? We found out who they are. What do we do now? They say $1 billion doesn't buy happiness. I haven't tried myself, so I can't tell you. I can tell you right now it'll buy you a lot of happiness. It might buy you some issues if you go give all your friends money and get a house and get a mortgage and then, lose some money. Yeah, it cause you issues. But if you're talking about peace of mind, man, I'd have a lot of peace of mind. The real enemy isn't physical. That's why you can't stop them. I think most everything is physical. Okay, that's it, right? We're at the bottom. All righty. Let me go see if there's anything going on at the Rockfin. And then we'll be heading out. Tomorrow I got my show, the Jeranism show. Check in for that. That's going to be fun. Let me see what we got here. Over here. Man, the camera's all orange because of this pink thing. There we go. That's a little better. Where is it? Rockfin. No. Over there. Where is Rockfin? Let's check it out. Rockfin in the house. 35 people. Wow, we're just banging doors down right now. Let's check the tips real quick. Thank you very much for the tips. Let's see what we got here. We got Alan Korzep. He says, Jeranism received a tip. Awesome. We've got Claptrapism. You emailed you earlier. I wrote the day down wrong. Oh, okay, got you. Well, thank you very much. You always tip, so I'm just kidding. You don't owe me $20. I was playing with you. But I was here for you. I did message you on Telegram. You weren't there. Some people don't even know who our enemies are. I just wanted to say that a lot points to Rome. I think we know who they are now. They're the WEF. It's very simple. I seriously think these people get possessed when they sign contracts or positions in these big companies. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's almost like, so I don't know if you guys know what happened to Alex Stein. Alex Stein was trying to get a job, or was thinking he might get a job from some of his appearances, but it doesn't look that way because of his belief in the shape of the earth. So it's one of those situations where if he was willing to cuck, then he'd probably have a job. So I think that throughout your career, a lot of people get to a point where they are like, but this, and this. And they're like, well, if you're going to work here, you can't think that. And they're like, all right, I'll work here. So the people like Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck and these guys, to me, they are probably compromised at some way at some point on the way up there. Look at Alex already got pigeonholed in his very first appearance. Where they're like, wait, do you really believe the Earth's flat? Better not say that you do, because when he does, then they're like, no, we're not going to hire you. So I saw it when I tried to get a job as a chat rep for Exodus. Nope, they were so happy with me. Great interview, great test, great meeting with the team, and then they just didn't call me for a week. And then I called them and said, "What's up?" Well, it's actually because of some of your internet search. We searched on the internet. So I mean, again, if I would have wore a dress though to the appointment, I would have been brave and hired in a second. So that's what happens. My white privilege got exposed right there. Well, you're right. That is a huge part of it too. So no matter who you take out, the evil will always get attached in those situations. I feel the crypto route is probably some of the reason Klaus Schwab said by 2030 you'll own nothing and be happy. You might own such and such BTC or similar tokens, but you essentially own nothing. How do you not see it's the same thing with your dollars? What do you own with dollars? How do you not think first before you type? Does that make sense what I'm about to say? No, it doesn't. Hold on, I need to rethink this. I can't imagine doing that. It's weird. Sounds like a religious discrimination case to me. I don't think that's the case. I think that people are allowed to not hire you based on your beliefs in the shape of the earth, which is crazy. But I don't think anybody would argue that. You're not going to get people to be like, yeah, you have to hire him even though he believes in flat earth. They wouldn't allow that. So bow down then? No, they would never, and neither did he. And so I even talked to him. I was like, people would understand if you went there and then waited a month or two and then started to release some stuff. He's like, I couldn't even do that. So good on him. I gave Alex for credit for saying Mockingbird Media on Fox News. He did a good job. I'm proud of my white privilege. I just if there's white privilege, then I want to be on the Warriors court tomorrow, playing for the Golden State Warriors in the NBA, and Steph Curry should have to come host this show. That would be real white privilege. Otherwise, I don't really see it. See here, we're at the bottom. All right. I think you will own nothing and be happy. It has to do with the prices going to unobtainable levels. I think that they're going to bring in some sort of a universal basic income that will be paid in the CDBC. You will get your digital coin. It will be a certain amount you can spend every month. So, here you go. $2,000 you can spend a month. If you tried to spend $2,005, it's going to say, no, you can't do that. You're only spend this much. And also, they will be able to keep track of if you're buying drugs or if you're buying things that they can come and take your kids away for. They'll know whether you have the vaccine or not. So what we can do is get out now, as soon as we can. Find a family that you could hang out with. I've got right now 5 or 6 families that we've been talking to that we could all end up in the same place. It would be really cool. But it's hard to get places. I don't want to fly with a mask, the whole 10 yards. The dollar is already destroyed. I think it's destroyed long ago. Yeah, I totally agree. It's just tells you what the American government can do with lies, because there is nothing propping the dollar up at all. And prices will continue to rise as people realize that, which is really sad because they'll get so expensive we can't own anything pretty soon. So then what do we do, right? They're already talking about registered cars getting gas stimulus. Did you see the other day that there was a Tesla that was impounded from the person's house, and the police called Tesla and said, hey, this car is in the driveway. The guy's not coming out. Can you turn on the car? The car turned on and backed out itself. That is let me see if that's a real story. I was going to say that is a real story, and I thought about it. Maybe not. Tesla car removed by police. I don't know if that's enough. No, Tesla police vehicle ran out of power during a car chase. Tesla driver gets pulled over. Man driving in driverless Tesla. 5 cops sue Tesla alleging car on autopilot hit police. Good. I hope they start doing that. 5 Texas cops are suing Tesla. Wait, Texas cops. Hold on, I know you don't see what I'm doing. Wait, what's going on here? Hey, you do. What does it say? 5 Texas cops suing Tesla, saying a Model X on autopilot slammed into them in February. Have you seen the video? The cars just do it. You're like driving the freeway and it swerves into the oncoming traffic lane. I would never do it. Ever. Never, ever, ever. It's just such a joke. Who's going to pay for insurance? None of it makes any sense. Have you seen what you have to mine to make one car? It's insanity that people are so dumb that you have to mine what do you have to mine to get lithium? It's like the amount of lithium, I think you need 14 pounds in one car. To get 14 pounds of lithium, you have to dig a huge ass hole. What are we using to dig these holes? We're using gas-powered equipment. So we're digging the holes out with gas-powered equipment and then putting the little battery pack in the car that doesn't use gas. I mean, we're just so fucking dumb, it hurts. We're just so stupid. We're just so dumb. We keep doing this shit. But yeah, that's funny. Really, really funny. But there's all the things that go into a battery are like, you have to have this. I don't know if this is the Atacama Desert where they are doing a bunch of work there. It's just insane because it's like 14 pounds. Here's where can you mine lithium? Lithium mining is booming. Yeah, it's because it's going to the batteries. What's behind lithium mining? I don't even know if I believe in lithium. I guess I should, but Harmon made me really think about some of those gases that should be up high, you know? All right, let's go back over here and check. And we got Jaron, you're a derelict? Your wife humiliated you, and you use YouTube as a cope. No. Nope. I think you are wrong. Again, F Tesla. Can't stand him. Jesus Drake, chill. Haha. What? There are liquor stores in, and it's so funny because it's it's called forgiveness for a mistake, but I get it. I get not everybody can do that. It's pretty difficult, but especially when somebody comes begging for you back. I get it. No one's ever begged for you, I'm sure. Can guarantee that. All right, let's check the next one. That is checking that. But I need to search what that word means because I should understand what words mean. What is dialect? Derelict? Derelict. Anybody? Derelict? I spell that wrong. Gotta learn my words. In very poor condition as a result of disguise and neglect. I'm in poor condition? Okay. If I would have known that, I would have laughed at your joke the first time. 500,000 tons of ore. Is that really what it is for one car? How much ore dug to produce one EV battery? It's such a joke. I mean, there's no way you can be profiting off that. Mining for electric car batteries, hundreds of times better than what? Than petrol car emission cycles. I don't know. So are these guys now just trying to less raw materials will be needed for batteries over time? Yeah, again, they're just saying like, well, right now maybe, but in the future we're going to need less lithium. How much ore does it take to make a Tesla battery? With miscellaneous parts and labor, a charge of around $500 for a 3-hour replacement added. A more accurate low estimate of a replacement Model Y's battery pack is around $13,000. So it's $13,000 just for the battery. That's crazy. Minerals and green energy, lithium mining, the hidden environment cost of EVs. This is probably a good one here. This says, in January, a pair of activists pitched a tent in one of the loveliest regions. Let's see, lithium is a metal. Here's how they describe where they are now. Less than green deal. So anyway, it's just when you see the list of things, see, this is lithium. One reason for Falk and Wilbert's stand is obvious. The lithium mine at Thacker Pass will destroy an entire sagebush ecosystem. Mind you, what's planned at Thacker Pass isn't just an epic-sized mine. There will also be an enormous complex. Because lithium's concentration in ore at Thacker Pass is as low as 0.2%, producing 1 ton of the stuff for use by society entails strip mining and processing as much as 500 tons of earth. So that's 500 times 2,000 to get pounds. Over a single year, producing 60,000 tons of lithium at the site could mean digging up as much as 20 to 30 million tons of earth, more than the annual amount of earth dug up to produce all the coal that has been output in all but 7 of 8 states. Removing lithium from the ore is done with the industry's economy dissolver of choice, the notoriously corrosive and toxic sulfuric acid. The developer, Canada-based China-backed Lithium Americas Corporation, plans to acidify molten sulfur on site. Yeah, it's just crazy what they're doing. It's all by design. It's just stupid. We don't need to do it, We don't need to do it. Yeah, WF is definitely a sponsor. Definitely. Strip mining earth for materials to build non-disposable batteries charged by carbon-emitting power plants burning coal 24/7 is green. What's wrong with people, Nick? I don't think people can think anymore. And I think the reason why is because they taught us that we're not able to. They really taught people that they shouldn't. All your information needs to come from somebody else. That's the only way you can do it. And it's not true. Proof of stake isn't green. Proof of stake worries me just because I wonder if you can have an easier time at 51% attack, although it doesn't make a lot of sense for the half they want to take down the other half. It doesn't make sense, but it would be tough. Transactions don't run in the damn air. No, but they're getting to the point where we can start to do, they're coming up with new ways. This is the thing. Things will be innovated on. If I can give you any advice based on my 10 years now in crypto, It's if there's problems today, they won't be there in a year. Okay, somebody, you can be the one to step up and take care of it. That's the crazy thing. You can be the one to step up and make a new product, a new website that takes the crypto coins. We don't think that way because we never thought, well, I'm gonna get involved with Visa, MasterCard, it's a bunch of bullshit. But now you can. You can. All right, I have nothing else for you, I don't think. Let me check over here, make sure I've got everything that we need. See if I have anything over here. I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow and save that for tomorrow. I could use this real quick. I just need a little laugh. We'll do this one real quick.
Who you trying to mess with, Esse? Don't you know who my daddy is?
That Hunter Biden was trading on his father's office to make $50 grand a month from the Ukrainians. In October, he admitted it.
The fact that you were the son of the vice president. What role do you think that played?
I think that it is impossible for me to be on any of the boards that I just mentioned without saying that I'm the son of the vice president of the United States.
Son of Joe Biden, and boy, it's tough. I put the crack in the pipe and smoke it up. I like every day I'm tweaking, laptop leaking, pictures of me on a cocaine bender. Quick Pro Joe got me working in the Ukraine gas company directing. The only thing I know about gas, you can huff it. Now I got 50K a month in my pocket. For the directors, charisma, I'm smashing. My dead brother's widow, impregnate a stripper. But nothing is better than crack cocaine when you're rich and famous in the Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine in Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine straight to the brain. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine in Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine straight to the brain.
Oh, that's funny. I forgot I had this. I was looking for this video the other day and I didn't know it was in here. This is the... We're going to look at gravity here. Watch gravity work. Amazing thing. So remember, the Earth started out as like one little rock, and then a bunch of rocks, because that little rock had some pulled the other ones to it. So, for an example, watch what happens to these ping pong balls. Watch, here they go. Here they go. Watch them find the one, find the center. One of them has got to be the center. One of them should elect to be the center. That one's going to be the center. Oops. Oh. All things must come down. And none of them attracted any other ball to them. That's really weird. I wonder how the Earth started. I guess you just have to believe in fantastical magic stories, which some people do. Some people do believe in fantastical magic stories. I choose not to. That's the greatest thing you can do, is finally the day when you say, I don't have to believe anything I don't want to. Wow, it is awesome. You've never felt better on that day when that happens. You're like, yes, I don't have to believe what people tell me anymore. This is awesome. And then you can, you know what? It doesn't matter if you don't know. You know, some things we don't know. And I don't think the point of life is to sit around and have other people tell you the truth based off of books. All right. If you want to find all my links, they are at Linktree, linktr.ee/Jeranism. It's got everything there, including the link to our new consultation site. If you're interested in just finding out, go do a 15-minute free one with Scott. You can go to cryptoclass101.com.au or jeranism.com/crypto. And sign up for a consultation if you want. It's quick and easy. We'll be able to get you at least in the right direction and help you out with some things. And then you join, if you want to, join the Patreon. For $10 a month, you get all that stuff. You get the 2 classes a month for free. You get all the back classes, all the future classes. Direct line to me. You get 2 Patreon-only Telegram groups where we've got a good crowd there. And if you do it bi-yearly, which means you save 2 months, you only pay $100, you get a free class that's regular value is $115. So it's a no-brainer if there ever was a no-brainer. And it will keep you safe. And you'll get to be my friend, which there's pretty much nothing more valuable than that. Oh man, I see that Cheers there. I'm not going to click it though. Not going to click. I don't have a song ready for you for Cheers. All right, don't have anything else. Nope. All right, see you guys tomorrow for the Jeranism show. It's been fun. I appreciate you guys being here, even though a lot of you, I know you hate crypto. I don't know what else I can do. But come by for a consultation. Let's talk about it. Get an idea. Get a wallet. Start controlling your own finances. We don't need banks anymore. You don't need that middleman. And this will go the way for everything. Titles for house sales and registration for cars. We are just a few years away from all that stuff going to the blockchain. And the coins that are behind the blockchain will have value. And if you miss this spot, you're not going to be happy with yourself at all. Which, probably not as it is anyway. So be it. All right. It's been fun. Guys, is there anything else I need to show? Nope. That's it. We're going to do the outro. We will see you tomorrow for the Jeranism show. I remind you guys, do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Buy, hodl. Oh, we got to have a Bitcoin song on the way out of here. That's right. Sorry, we're not leaving yet. We're not going to do a regular outro. Let's find... What is this? Oh. I haven't heard some of these. I don't want to listen to a new one. Let's go with the... I don't know that one either. I like the Epic Rap Battles of History. Pretty good. Let's watch this one. All right, guys. Do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe what you've been taught. Till next time. This has been Jeranism. Peace.
We gather online as citizens of the world to judge two experts in a critical debate. In this corner, the creator of centralized banking. Make some noise for Alexander Hamilton. And in this corner, the creator of the Bitcoin, the believer in the blockchain. Give it up for Satoshi Nakamoto. Mr. Hamilton, you may begin.
Before we begin, everyone do me a favor. Read a little thing I wrote called the Federalist Papers. I explain how a nation's unlikely to survive without a strong central government to keep it alive. When I launched the central bank, Jefferson called me ill. Now you have my face to thank on every $10 bill. When America was cash-strapped, I pushed past that. Now some sicko makes crypto, and our nation backtracks.
Decentralized currency, yes, I invented it. I'm sure many governments wish they had prevented it. The national cash is how they keep control. But freedom to the people was my ultimate goal. Am I a pseudonym, a group of men? It doesn't even matter. I invented Bitcoin cause fiat is a disaster. A man from Japan or a damn hologram. I'm the reason open season on crypto began.
Does anybody know what this crypto thing means? To me sounds like the new get broke quick scheme. A bunch of fools from across the land investing in something they don't even understand. Buying Litecoin Cash, Bitcoin Cash. It's all gonna crash and be gone in a flash. All this unsupported money's an irrational prank, and I'll be laughing all the way to my national bank.
Yeah, dude, super funny. As if banks these days still help people make money. The rich get richer and we follow like we're all sheep. The banks serve Wall Street, crypto serves all streets. The interest in crypto's on rapid ascent. What's your current interest? Like 0.5%? I'm sorry, the bank's gone past its peak. But I want info encrypted, not hacked and leaked.
If this crypto system will be our salvation, it needs to be centralized, needs regulation. If our central database gets, how you say, hacked, insurance will just make a case to get your money back. Cause in fact it's tracked, and the money leaves a trail. Central currency is strong, cryptocurrency is frail. Untraceable money, wow, so clever. One typo in your address, now it's gone forever.
Crypto is frail, that's the essence of your lesson. Your money leaves a trail, yeah, a trail to a recession. A bunch of rich white guys made this system. Why would they ever change it when it made them rich men? Movie moguls fought hard against the VCR. Horse and buggy manufacturers all hated the car. So why would I take my advice from the banks? I don't need a bailout to survive. Thanks.
The system is so broken. We need that crypto token.
The system isn't broken. Can we trust crypto tokens?
It's gotta be centralized,
decentralized,
centralized,
decentralized.
We need control,
free enterprise.
Bring me the facts, please test justified.
Fiat's the way a government controls the populace.
Government protects its people. All of this is obvious. They keep the peace, and so they keep control. You want us ruled by crypto miners no one even knows?
Oh, it's that strong central government bit again. They protect people, but only their citizens. Crypto has no borders. It's a true global currency and censorship resistance for those who need it urgently.
Banks earn trust by assuming liability. You know a key, we know the customer explicitly. Will the real Satoshi please stand up? Nope, you'll still be hiding when crypto busts.
You don't need to trust the people, you just need to trust the code. Every record's in the network, you're just one node. And when you find a flaw, there's a software update. Now try updating Cash. Go ahead, I'll wait.
Wait, Cash works, you immediately pay. Crypto's a far worse medium of exchange. Can't Bitcoin the dentist, can't Bitcoin my breakfast, can't even use Bitcoin at Bitcoin conventions.
No currency starts with universal adoption. It takes time for places to make it an option. Plus billions of people don't have bank accounts. No savings, no interest, no checks to bounce.
You're saving the world, but what's the price you're paying? The only change you're creating is climate change. Power grids spiking all across the land. Overheated, no one needs it, hope it all gets banned.
From the king of paper currency, the hypocrisy. For bills and forms and triplicates, you're killing all the trees. Don't like my power usage? Stop targeting my rights. I own my purchase power and the market sets the price.
It's gonna get real dark if this is crypto's night. They use your currency for crimes, that's your kryptonite.
Most crime is done with Benjamins, not the blockchain. There's a reason most dollars carry traces of cocaine.
Where's your proof of work? That's pure speculation. Those darknet black markets need more regulation.
The world's full of currencies and this one makes it worse. 180 now, Bitcoin's 180 first.
It's not the currency itself, it's the method, man. You can't build things that last without a central plan.
Crypto is a balance to the centralized model, cause things fall apart, the censor cannot hodl.
If you end up having problems, I feel bad for you, son.
I've got 99 problems, but a bit ain't one.
Gun! Hold on, we are not having a duel. That is the end of the debate. Now it's time for the people to choose who won. Let it be known in the comments below. My name is The Gift of Gab, and I am your host. Peace and love, y'all.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Evan Floyd from Epic Rap History.